I don't know who's top, so
as I suspect our order is different everywhere it's listed.
Yeah. And
Okay.
do me a favor. Make sure you link your Twitch in my Discord. So, please. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so Terry's the top, and Cutter's the bottom. I'm the middle. Okay.
All right. My name is Terry. I am forever DM. So the fact that I get to play today is always great. This is actually my second time playing in something now in 2 weeks, not as a DM. You can find me on Roll for Perception Monday, Tuesday nights with our Pathfinder 2E campaigns of Outlaws of Alkenstar and Bloodlords. And of course on Instagram and Twitter and all those other good places. I am going to be playing, my character is Captain Jerian Helmshale, and I'm super excited.
Hey, my name is Jeff, but a lot of people know me as Sigmund from various video games and streaming services and whatnot. I'm an artist. I do 3D rendering graphics, and I do writing for a site called Alfheim 2254. And I will be playing a character named Johan Johansson, who is the officially 45th version of his family name, though that name has carried over for 40,000 years and has been broken up many times as the family had moved from planet to planet and had to restart their numerology. I believe I'm a captain of the guard. Is that what you said I am? Or am I just a bodyguard, or what? Oh, sorry, Jerian, you get what you paid for. It wasn't very much. I say weapon expert because I shoot stuff. I don't really. The gun is a muscle, right? That counts as a.
As long as you can hold the bolter up, yes, I think so. That requires a fair amount of muscle.
Okay.
Should I go ahead or?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Devin. I am a freelance illustrator, and I've played once before with Lee in a game we did for the virtual Greyhawk convention a while ago. And today I will be playing the ship's chirurgeon and mad scientist, member of the Adeptus Mechanicus, Dr. Cutter Kurosawa. So I will be your friendly local resident cyborg who, in case you need to be sliced open and maybe experimented on a little bit, improved, I mean, I'm here for you. I think technically, am I technically the explorator? Is that my, yeah. Yes.
As
Hooray!
it should be.
the entire recruitment center is missing?
Abhumans. Intriguing.
Do we have expendable soldiers with us? Well, it's not my choice. I think it's up to the captain. I was just asking.
I would certainly advise not going down to the planet without armed accompaniment, Captain, if that suits you.
Damn it, Cutter! It's your job to make sure we all have arms.
Well, rest assured that if you do lose arms in the service of your duty, I can furnish you with additional ones.
So does your relative here provide you with better cutting tools, like made for the metal from this planet?
I am not aware, though that does seem like it would be beneficial. My suspicion is that they are probably given priority to be supplied to the Imperial Guard or perhaps the Adeptus Astartes before they reach us. But it sounds as though it would be considerably useful for surgical applications.
Yeah,
I shall have to inquire.
To get you some of that.
I will note it in my logs as an avenue of inquiry when we arrive.
And I'll probably forget after my first beer, but
And yeah, the captain would have made sure that we had a couple of armed soldiers with us. It would only make sense going down when having heard, what we're going down for. So I don't think we'd go with just the three of us.
as I've learned over the years, we don't have to be faster than the enemy. We just have to be faster than those red shirts behind us.
Indeed, it is their duty to serve, and they should find honor in it if they are required to sacrifice themselves for the greater glory of the Imperium. Indeed, that is the optimal outcome.
Are you speaking as the DM or as a character? Gotcha. Yeah, by all means, we're planning on keeping you guys alive.
Now, is the shuttle headed towards where this, where they haven't heard from? Right. All right. So, Captain, standing looking over the shoulder of the pilot, I do believe we'll be heading towards the recruitment center, so please make sure that you find a suitable place for us to land without... Oh, please, speak over top of me. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now, as I was saying, please make sure you find a suitable place to land, one where we can possibly come in unnoticed. Good, you are interpreting things well today. Well done. It seems our radio operator is having difficulties today. Don't worry, we'll take care of them right away.
Most unusual.
Whoa. English doesn't necessarily mean evil.
We just received a terrible amount of bad PR from the Star Wars movies.
Exactly. I mean, in Sense and Sensibility, they're not evil.
We just received a terrible amount of bad PR from the Star Wars movies.
Is it?
Still no lead.
It's close enough, certainly.
It appears the conjuncticator has not been cleaned today, and as such, our radio man is having difficulties. They will be with us very shortly, hopefully, before we land, but who knows?
So let us hope that this is
all right
on our end, and that we're not being jammed by
oh
the place we're headed.
that is cool. That is true. You could be being jammed. Actually, but yes, you do notice there's been bombings. Bombings.
And would you say the bombing craters are fairly significant size?
Fairly, yeah, actually. It seems like quick strafing runs.
Okay.
Not bombing, but something, and you can see the lines. And actually, Johan,
Right.
you would know, as someone who's been on a lot of battlefields, this is a strafing run from a flyer, not a. And you can kind of see some stuff, but yes, it is a strafing run from a flyer. Whether that means anything or not, but yeah, this is very clearly strafing run.
Can I figure out the approximate size of a ship that would make such marks?
Yeah, it's, from what you can tell with the lines, it is several small craft, nothing larger than 20 meters across-ish. No, not actual ships. This is single pilot.
So most likely they came from the surface. They wouldn't have descended from, let's say, a greater ship.
They might have descended from a greater ship, but it's not a so it's possible for something this size to be warp capable. The one you're flying in is a good example. But if they did, there is a ship in orbit that has been refusing hails. Probably should have told you that for now, but yes.
Do we have
that would have been a little bit of handy information.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Do we have a visual identification, a visual confirmation of perhaps some idea of what make it is?
It is a they're not flying official Imperial colors. So it's not a Navy ship.
Is it a human ship?
Most likely, yes. It's not anything ridiculous in terms of it's not a Xenos ship, certainly, and it doesn't look chaosy particularly.
Well, that's a relief.
They don't have a bunch of skulls decorating the outside hull.
I mean, yes, but skulls are good guys because this is the humanity. When you burn away the flesh of all humans, no matter what they look like on the surface, they all have skulls underneath. This is skulls are good guys, more or less.
Which is why we like to coat them in metal to preserve them.
Yes, exactly. But yes, the skulls are the good guys. So, yeah, it looks like a probably a mercenary trader, something like that. It doesn't look like it has a lot of cargo capacity, but it's yeah, it doesn't look like it has a lot of cargo capacity, but it does have some weapons. Although none of the weapons are charged or aimed, it's very quiet. No Vox signals, no weapons charged, no nothing. It's just kind of vibing in orbit. Life support is online, most likely, so there's probably not, but no engines, so they're just kind of in orbit, radio silence.
Do they have landing bays of a significant size to hold fighter ships, as opposed to just like a couple?
Quite possibly. Yeah, I would say yes. It does look like there is landing bays to hold some ships. There's definitely surface-to-air capability, or ship-to-ground capability in this, where they could bring stuff down from orbit. But
Well, I don't recommend we stay near the ship once we get out of it.
yeah. So yeah, and as you can see, it's built of stone, and it looks rockcrete specifically, not local stone. It is standardized hive construction rather than native material construction for the recruiting center. And there are these big earthen embankments surrounding it, and your pilot kind of touches you down gently behind one of them and turns to you. Is this far enough away, ma'am? Or do you want to go a little farther out? Not much cover, but I could probably head a little farther.
No, I believe this shall be far enough. I believe there's enough cover here for us to make our way in.
So Jarian is a female?
Indeed, I am.
Yes. If you Captain Helmsholl has been... You were there when Captain Helmsholl was created. I'm almost certain.
Probably. I don't know. I did memorize all the 40
the characters. Yes, we have a whole list of characters. I picked them out from.
So yes, I am female.
Yes,
I am indeed.
I offered to let you play Captain Helmsholl's brother of a different ship, but.
No, indeed, this is quite
I don't care. I you know how I'm just sitting here like scratching your head. I think I would have noticed that after like 2 or 3 years. So
To be fair, she's wearing. You guys are all wearing armor. I believe you have Enforcer Light Carapace, which gives you
I do. Okay.
plus 5 armor points, which means that the amount of damage is reduced by 5, which is for the armor, and toughness bonus, which in case anyone tries to shoot you. Not that they would, as of yet, but
I'm certain they would not dare once confronted with the authority of the Imperium.
yeah, maybe not. But yeah, you guys are. There's a earthen embankment kind of surrounding this big, several rock creep buildings, a little bit of local damage, and you are down. The ship is up. The doors are open.
Hey, Captain, would it be all right if we investigate these craters a little bit? I'm curious to see what they were aiming at. Like, were they aiming at possibly soldiers? And so we might see if they were just trying to hit the building itself.
Now,
Soldiers are.
I'm assuming this group's been together for a bit.
A bit,
yes?
yeah. You guys.
So this wouldn't seem out of the ordinary for Johan to be to be curious about this. Indeed, I believe that would be the more knowledge we have of the area and what was occurring, the better prepared we'll be. So please.
All right. So you guys are making your way up. As you crest over the embankment, you hear it's a very distinctive, and you see the red light flashing. And I need to get dice. Yeah, you're being shot at.
Of course, yeah.
With las guns specifically.
Okay, I have a pretty high perception,
Sure.
I think.
Yeah.
So, would I be able to have seen, like, ahead of time what was about to shoot at us? Or are they using, if they're using scopes, I guess.
Let's see. You're coming over the encampment. I'll
'Cause
allow
if we're coming
for
from behind it, they wouldn't have seen us until
you came
got
to the
over
top. Yes.
Right.
Roll a perception. It's a percentile. So you guys have D100s, right?
Right.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I have 2 good sets for the enemies. Or, actually, this case.
I am so focused on the sun and weather conditions. As I rolled a 93.
Yeah, no, it is lightly cloudy. Also, you guys notice that the air is really hard. Like, you're a little dizzy. It's a lot to take in. The air is very thin. I believe the average here is about Himalaya level. At sea level here is about Himalaya level on Earth in terms of pressure. So it's a little tricky, harder to breathe. So sudden atmosphere shift is not your friend. But it's breathable by humans. It's nitrogen oxygen blend. Nothing toxic. Usable, just a little thin.
Now, I do have a void suit listed in my gear. Is that...
It would help a little. I mean, maybe, but you don't need it. That would be more if you were out in the vacuum of space. You could put on a void suit and go.
I think I will just remain to be certain that I remain at optimal functioning.
Okay.
In case any medical services are required, I shall go ahead and activate my void suit, and of course, tell my my servo skull medical assistant,
Yes.
Nurse Joy, please remain low, avoid any incoming fire,
All right. Kind of.
and stay on me.
You hear, and then goes down, right around your knee level. Zigging, zagging, keeping an eye. And yeah, you guys are heading up the embankment. Right, you roll. Okay, so you don't see. You're looking at the ground. You're looking at the shots, and you. All right, look, wait to see if it's -10. So there would be not. Yeah. That does not help. Yeah, so it's pot shots. And you notice it is las fire. And actually, yeah, no, it's just las fire coming down at you. And you notice it's from the top of one of the buildings. Probably. It's a little bit wonky, but just coming from the top of the buildings.
Johan will look at the captain. The captain, these are obviously untrained recruits shooting at us. Look how poor these shot. And then, like, all of a sudden he realizes, like, oh, yeah, I'm being shot at. I should
Yeah.
have to stand up there.
So as you stand up, and you would have seen this before, because we've been together.
Yeah.
Jarian stands straight up, with in no fear whatsoever, and looks to you and says, "These pathetic peasants know not that we have the God Emperor on our side. Pathetic. They can keep shooting at us, and they will continue to miss. Now let's keep moving."
Okay. Where are you headed exactly? You got the main gate, up down the earthen embankment. They're still, yeah, they're not doing so well.
Of course, they're not doing well.
To be fair, they are. Yeah, you have.
Would you prefer that I return fire or that we spare these?
Oh, please do. I have no problem taking care of them. They're obviously unbelievers, and as such should perish at someone's hand, and yours is as good as any, so please.
Okay. I need more dice also because, yeah, the you notice that the 5 soldiers you have with you, Theric is kind of looping around. They've kind of set up on the embankment, are like looking at you. They kind of understand that you're crazy. They know that maybe not crazy, but they understand that the captain will just do this.
Called
and
inspired. Thank you very much.
Yes,
I'm merely
devoted.
a zealot. It has, we'll call it what you will.
I mean, the God
Zealotry is
Emperor,
a virtue.
if depending on things, the God Emperor might grant you some, God Emperor does, occasionally
Can I
have the
return
power to
fire?
grant this, that, and the other thing. So, yeah, you have the power of the God Emperor on your side. How much that will help
Okay.
depends on some things, but yes. Yeah, so yeah, you are heading up. That's when you hear the footsteps. Thudding.
Human footsteps, or we're talking like mechanical footsteps?
No, not
from,
mechanical. These are
Goliath?
very, very flesh. They're very, very big. You think they're human. They're massive. But they.
The
Yeah.
Ogrins we have heard so much of.
Yeah.
Abhumans.
Yeah, abhumans. They
Well, the other
are,
half.
and there are
The
2
Lord.
of them running toward you.
But, Captain, I may have to shift my priorities. And
All right.
I'll take half. Oh, do we roll initiative, or do you want to
Yeah. Let's
take a
roll
shot?
initiative. Okay.
And what die do we use for
D10
initiative?
and add your agility modifier. So whatever you have in the 10s digits. If it's
Gotcha.
in the 30s,
So
you
do we
add
all
3.
roll it then?
Yeah.
13.
14. Okay.
No, 13. 13.
13.
Gary.
We got.
On fire.
I have 8.
So we
I'm
got
at
8 for
as
the
well.
cutter. Okay. How many for Johan?
8.
8. Okay. Then we have.
Oh wait, I have 9 because apparently I have.
Oh yeah, you
plus
have
1
wary,
bonus to
paranoia. Yes, you
initiative.
have. Being on the hive world and getting screwed over by your boss enough times has made you a little twitchy. And let's
Screwed
see.
over by my boss. Maybe
And that is 9.
having relations with his daughter caused a little bit of that, but hey,
She
things
was
happen.
pretty and she was into it, so there's that. She was very much excited about this thing. So that is there. Okay, you, Captain, you see them first, and you are at the top of the initiative order, and they are running straight for you. They're carrying weapons, you think. They have blades, and the handles are made of the same metal, and there's really very little distinction between them. They're more like shivs, but they're definitely sharp and pointy, and they're pointing at you, so, they still hurt.
Captain,
You're pretty sure.
apparently they're bringing us crudité and some knives to eat it with. Excellent.
So she will take out her pistol.
Okay.
Are they're within 35 meters?
Oh, yeah.
All right. And she's going to take a shot.
All right.
So what do I roll? You tell me.
Let's see. The ballistics. You have a ballistics?
I do.
Are you going
I
to take
do.
half
I do.
the turn to aim, or are you going to take half the turn to move or do something else?
Yeah, we'll take half the turn to aim.
All right, that gives you a plus 10. So whatever your ballistic plus 10, you're going to roll a d100 and try to get under that.
Okay, so that would be 55. I need to roll under 55,
Yeah.
and I rolled an 89, so I did not roll under.
No. You kind of careful take aim, boom, and it kind of skims past one of their heads, but it keeps running. They're up that way.
Is talking a free action?
Yeah, if you want to yell at them.
Well, she'll look back at the soldiers, who hopefully are within earshot. It appears the God Emperor would prefer that you finish off these, so please, rush on, take care of
Okay.
them. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna give him. Let's see. They are, unfortunately, got bad initiatives, but they will. So they're lower in the.
Of course they are. They're mere peons.
They have really good. Actually, they have 6. And he has, then Theric has 5. But no, Cobalt's like, yes, Captain, we're gonna kill him. And that is okay. One of these guys has the next initiative turn, so is gonna go. Let's see, the grapple. So he is running toward you, and he's going to let's see, it's about 10 meters. So he's gonna run. Yeah, they're gonna have to spend their whole turn moving. They're gonna have to make double movement actions to come right up close to you. And they're looking at the captain and at each other, and that's their plan. Just come right up to you, right up to the captain, and stand there.
Disgusting.
And okay. And that, so they're those two, and they have, yep, so we got, okay, we got the 2 8s, which means we have Johan Johansson and Cutter Kurosawa.
And so I will take my half action to aim.
Sure.
Now, do I get to aim with both pistols or just one?
You could aim one shot at each of them. No, because you only get to fire once, so, because you're taking a half action to aim.
Okay, so then when I do a half, so even though I have 2 pistol, even though I dual wield.
Yeah, you can shoot one of them. If you just shot both, it would be boom, boom, one after the other. It'd be half action to shoot each of them. That makes sense?
Okay.
Unless you have an automatic, but these are 2 separate weapons, so yeah. So yeah, if you take the turn to aim.
Sure, but I thought ambidextrous let me.
No, it gives you a second. It doesn't give you a penalty on. Because normally there'd be a penalty for shooting with your offhand.
Okay, well I will aim and shoot.
Oh, but you get a plus 30 because they're. I'm assuming you're fairly behind the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you get a plus 30 because they're point blank.
So the goal here then is not to fumble since I'm behind the captain?
Yeah, that would be good. Don't roll
You may
that.
consider it.
Battlefield promotion.
I mean, there's enough Helmshield kids that you might have to wait on that, but
I missed. I don't think I fumbled. 88.
no, you don't hit the captain, but yeah, and that's with the okay. So you get the plus 30 and the plus 10. That's a plus 40. Is your ballistics lower than 48?
I think it is.
Because an arch militant, you might have.
It is 48. Actually, it is.
Yeah,
48.
so an 88 is enough to hit.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's a plus 10 for aiming and a plus 30 for being right there.
Oh well. Aha! Have at the large creatures.
Yeah. Okay. Now I have to look up. I gave them. I did specify which stats they use. So let's see how many wounds. Okay. They don't have armor. No, that's the weapon skill. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. We're cutting that down, but still.
Oh, wow is not really a phrase I want to hear from the GM while they're looking up enemy stats.
Correct.
Yeah. And then the toughness is
Just
4.
completed one hit? What? I mean, what the hell out?
Right. So you hit. Damage, did I list your damage? Or no?
You did not?
Okay. All right. Now I have to look up the thing about. I think I only did that for the captain.
Of course, as it should be.
Yeah. So you are wielding a dual wielding pistols, right?
Bolt pistol.
Bolt. Okay, you got bolt pistols. Those things do a lot of damage. So you might.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, bolt pistols are very, very small explosives on top of the regular explosive bullets, and they are the favored of commissars for a reason.
Oh, I forgot I have good craftsmanship hand cannon too.
Yeah, you have a hand cannon and the sword, essentially.
Nice.
Yep. So it would be a bolt weapon. Bolt weapons. Bolt gun on his hip. Bolt pistol. Okay. Let me look at the quick reference. Handbow. Oh. Yeah, you can get a hand crossbow because that is a thing that exists. I mean, and hallucination grenades, which you guys don't have, but
That's what I need.
hallucination grenades.
We all need a good hallucination grenade from time to time.
People are just grenading themselves. Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is nice.
I do believe there are imperial strictures against using one on oneself, but we are in the wild, and you do have. You are a rogue trader, so
Yeah, rogue traders.
It's your
No one's
call.
gonna go for basic. That's primitive ranged. Okay, here we go. Bolt. Bolt gun.
I shall do what I wish.
Bolts. Pistol. Here we go. 30-meter range. Single shot or dual. It's a 1d10 plus 5 damage with a pen of 4. If they were wearing armor, they're not wearing armor, but it's a d10 plus 4. The penetration is the big one if they have armor.
Oh, okay. So D10 plus
D10
4.
plus 4. Just
Would you believe I did 12 quickly?
okay. Yeah, he stumbles back, bleeding, and just growls at you, and is shifting his focus to you for next turn. Yeah.
You still have a chance to surrender.
So no. God Emperor says no surrender.
I mean, you have no chance of surrender. You are going to get shot.
But yes, they're running. You shot him. Kursawa, what are you doing? You have the servo skull.
I would like to. So we have these ogrins who are charging at us.
Yes.
Correctly. I would like to use this opportunity to test out my Logis implant,
Okay.
which allows me to use my analytical circuits to calculate trajectory and reactions,
Sure. Okay.
anticipating the movement of my opponents.
Sure.
So
All
in
right.
order to do that, it says I have to make, by using my reaction for the round, I can make a tech use test to make use of this talent.
Go for it. So tech use is
All right.
intelligent plus 10 because you're, so go for it.
You have that, so I am rolling percentile.
And you
I'm
go
trying to
under
get
your int
under.
plus 10. So yeah, so whatever your intelligence is, which is pretty high. If
I made it. I got 16 out of.
Yeah, no,
my
that
intelligence
definitely
is
makes
40,
it.
plus
If
the
you
skill
have,
is 50. So
listen, if you have less than a 16 intelligence, you are. That's
all right. So that gives me a plus 10 bonus to all weapon skill and ballistic skill tests until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
So
Good to know. Also, you notice that they are probably trying to grab the captain.
well, in that case, then I can go ahead and utilize that by firing my hell gun at
Okay.
whoever's trying to apprehend the captain.
At the one who just got shot with the bolter, or the other one?
Hey, Lee, I have a question for you. A rules question. So, if Cutter had just took half a turn to aim, you would have gotten plus 30. But
A plus
because
10.
he was
A plus 10. The plus 30 is from being point blank range.
No, if you use your half action, you get you get plus 10 for that. Okay, so
Plus 10 for the aiming, plus 30 for being point blank.
so that's just like a different way of getting.
No, you can still use half a
10?
turn to aim and get another plus 10. And it's on all weapons test, which means if you have dual and you could make 2 weapons attacks with each a half turn, you have to use 2 different weapons. But if you have 2 different weapons and you can use both and not have to take the half turn to aim and still get a plus 10, or you can take a half turn and get a plus 20.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a reaction, which means no attacks of opportunity if they try to run past you, which they're not going to, but
Okay.
you don't know
Well,
that.
I'll go ahead and shoot at the one that hasn't been shot at
Okay,
yet.
are you taking half a turn to aim, or are you taking half a turn to do something else?
I'll take a half turn to aim.
Okay.
Certainly. Precision is important.
Precision is important. All right.
So, all right. So
Hellguns.
let's see. So the largest implant gives me a plus 10 bonus to my firing roll. And that's just a ballistic skill.
Yep, ballistic skill.
All right. And I rolled a 9.
You are on fire, Devin. You were kicking our butts.
Yeah. As, I don't know if this is going to pick it up. I'm using no, it's not going to pick it up very well, but as befitting the Adeptus Mechanicus, I am using a dice app.
Ah. Okay.
So
That's fair.
Okay.
As long as it's properly random. Yeah, no. I believe you. So yeah, plus 9. That's wait a second, 9 out of 100. That's that hits.
9 out of 100.
That hella hits. Yep.
Delightful.
You have crits in Rogue Trader?
It is called the Emperor's Fury, and it is on damage. There's not on the ballistics. If you get a 1, something crazy happens. But if you get max damage, fun things happen when you get max damage because the Emperor likes you.
Oh.
Yeah. If you get max damage, the Emperor likes you, and fun things happen.
Well, I will. In this case, I think I should offer a brief prayer of thanks to the machine god
Messiah.
for aiding me in this situation. My equipment has not failed me.
Yeah. Messiah.
The Omnissiah, yes, indeed. So, what do I roll for damage?
You roll with a Hellgun. I believe it is D10.
It is a las gun.
A las. Oh yeah, las gun. A Hellgun. Yes, a las gun. It's a D10 plus 4 energy. Ooh, it's got a pen of 7. Hellguns are intense. And a range of 110 meters. But yes.
Excellent. So 1d10 plus 4?
Yeah. And it's got a clip
It's
of
5 plus 4 is 9.
Right, it's bolt. I should probably keep track of the bolt pistol. Yeah, because you only got a clip of 8, so.
And then, while you're figuring that out, I need to pass a toughness test, since I used my largest implant, and if I fail it, I gain a level of fatigue.
Ooh, yeah. Levels of
So
fatigue
let's
aren't too bad until they start piling up. Then you.
Right. I rolled an 8, so I guess I did all right with that.
Yeah, your dice
Praise be to
are.
the Omnissiah.
Yes, the Omnissiah really likes you, which is one step up from the Emperor also really liking you, unless they are the same being, which is not an unheard of philosophy, including on Bertland.
Oh, don't
which
get
is
us
where the captain...
don't get us started. If a member of the ecclesiarchy were here, we would have a debate.
Yeah, well, actually, certain members of the ecclesiarchy, including those in Bertland, who Captain Helmshell was spent a lot of time growing up with, living amongst them, do have the whole Emperor as Omnissiah viewpoint. It's a minority religion, but Bertland, it's a big thing. Except among the sketchy street gangs, but that's a whole other thing.
I'm just saying it's a very popular viewpoint on Mars.
I'm sure.
Captain, this is not the captain, but the captain of these recruits. Focus on the battle.
Oh, our sergeant?
Over.
Yes, the sergeant.
Wait. Sergeant,
Yeah,
focus. We have
Focus. Right.
large creatures coming towards our captain. Perhaps you should have your men take care of that.
Working on it. And as you do that, and how much damage? Important question.
Yeah, 5 plus 4.
No, a D10 plus 4 for the Hellgun.
Oh, for the Hellgun. Yes, I got 9 points of damage.
9 points of... Okay.
Energy damage.
So that's... Yes, that's... Math. Is what's...
It's math.
Yes. Yep. Okay. The bounce back. Cobalt is gonna... one of the... comes forward. Is gonna... They're a little farther behind, so they're gonna have to spend their turn moving, which means they don't get to aim, but they have pretty good ballistics and lasgun, basic lasguns, so they should be, they have flashlights. Emperor sanctioned flashlights. Should be fine. Oh! Wow, okay. He's doing good. That is a very good roll.
That's not good.
No, I mean, he's on your side. Cobalt.
Oh, good. Oh, okay.
Nell Cobalt, one of your little guys.
Oh, gotcha.
He has a bit of a scar on his face, but it does over his eye. But his eye managed to he does have a scar over his face and greasy black hair. It's kind of in a straight that's flopping around. But he grabs he has a basic lasgun, yeah, which is a D10 only +3 because D10 please, and he's shooting at the one you are. Yeah, that's a 1 on damage though. So he rolled really well on the hit, 1 on damage, which gives him 4. Wow. Okay. So close. Yeah, this guy looks on death's door, but he's holding on.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Oh, and then Theric has his turn. Who's the other one who's going to come up behind. And, yeah, that will hit. And that's better damage. Okay. So they take out one of the Ogrins between them. The one who Johann put a bolter shell in. So he's out. And then the others have to spend their whole turn moving. Because... yeah, they're going to spend their whole turn. Give them nice... Yeah, they're going to spend their whole turns moving.
Okay.
I wasn't... I got him. I got him, didn't I? A little on the high side, but I got him. Alright, so they're moving... They're spending all their turns moving up.
Sure.
In the captain, you get a... you get one more of these... one more turn.
Oh, well, fantastic. So the two are right in front of me? The
Yeah.
two... Okay. And... All right. I'm going to take a swipe with my sword.
Okay, you're gonna... The mono sword.
Yeah. It sounds cool.
It is. It has a monomolecular edge.
Oh, it's very cool.
It says strength mod 3, damage pen 2.
Strength mod plus strength mod +3 plus a d10.
Yeah, yep. No, that's for damage.
Right, for
But I have
rolling
to
it's
roll
your weapon skill.
underneath my weapon skill?
Yes, weapon
Okay,
skill. That is how good you are at melee. There's a
That
whole
is
stat for it.
unfortunate. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, I failed miserably. That's a 76 on the roll. 34 is the weapon skill.
Yeah. So yeah, you swipe out and just kind of punches your hand up, growls, and you notice the burn marks on the chest from the Hellgun. And okay, he is dead, but he's gonna try a grapple, which is a tricksy little thing that involves okay, yeah, he's gonna try a grapple with you, on you. That is his plan.
Okay.
why don't we go this one for that one because their stats. Okay. Grappling is a whole thing. I've done it before. It involves rolling strength checks, which combat.
Grappling, the bane of every role-playing system.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking, I was like, is there a system where grappling is actually easy?
Well, if it were, it wouldn't be as effective a
The rules want to give you the flavor of really struggling with something.
Yeah, grappling is the grapple.
I'm doing really good with the struggling.
Okay.
Well done.
Grapple is there's a whole.
We need to check that where you need to roll high. Are there any of those?
240.
246. Yep. Okay. Yeah. I do not believe so. Not that one. Yeah, you are grappling. Let's see. Grappling. Here we go. All right. So, grapple is a melee attack. Uses either charge or standard attack action. Okay. So attack action, just a half action. Weapon skill test is normal. Target of grapple may use reaction if available to avoid the attack. Oh yes, you guys get. If they successfully end an attack, have been on their behalf. They should have gotten dodge attempts. I'm letting it slide. They might have rolled, but yeah, you get either a dodge or a parry attack if you chance. Let's see with grapples. The grapple and the target are grappling, and the attacker is controlling the grapple. Control of the grapple can end it at any time as a free action. So he has to make a weapons and. Write down what his stats are. Okay, so he's making a weapons attack. You ooh, it's pretty good weapon skill too. So he's making a weapons attack.
Look at you, Gary. He has high weapon skill.
Yeah, unfortunately, not high enough. So he grabs you and you weasel your way out of it. He's trying to grab you.
Of course.
And he's gonna keep going.
Gary didn't even move. She just dodged using her force of will.
Yeah, just okay. Let's see if
That's
we get...
how it will be recorded in the archives, of course.
Oh,
Of course.
wow! These guard guys you have with you are doing really well.
Oh, good for them.
Of course they are.
Yeah, they're your best. They're chill. You got Cobalt, Theric, James, Soren, and Olivieren.
They were the best money that not very much money could buy.
They train. You know, you guys got them training on the in the months in the warp, because you have months in the warp often. If you're going out far. Let's see.
So many games of solitaire.
Yeah, unless there's demons, or freeboot attacks, or gravity goes wonky, or shenanigans occur. Just okay.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, warp
Delectable.
4 + 7. Why is it always they have one less damage than they need to kill these things?
They must live forever.
Possibly. Or possibly it'll be the same thing where his Theric will get him. No, Theric misses his shot. But James gets a shot. And also misses. Apparently the good mojo in the die has gone up. And then Soren also misses. And then one more.
They require more
Training.
worship.
No, Olivieren. Luna's got it. She's got it. She pulls up and then
Of
rolls her
course she
eyes.
does.
Pulls him, and then she's... Yeah, that's enough damage. And blows the brains out.
I would expect no different.
She's like, okay, we got him. And moving up. You guys can't anymore. Shit, come on. Captain, we got him, Captain. And...
Soldier, look up ahead at the towers.
Shit. Okay. We'll give you cover fire. And they start... You want to run for the... Captain, what's the orders?
Well, I do believe we need to continue to move forward.
You want cover fire?
I do, yes, and yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're getting cover fire, and the las gun stops as they start shooting back, and you do see the gate to the Imperial training facility.
So she starts moving fairly quickly to there,
Yeah.
then, to the gate.
Yeah,
Can we
and
see how many people are shooting at us?
they're shooting at the guard who's coming behind you, providing
Oh.
cover fire.
The guys who are shooting at us above, how many of them are there?
Oh, they're about 4 roughly, and then they're shooting fires with your guys who are forming kind of a little bit of a line, and then you're kind of sector. They're trying to shoot the guys shooting at them.
Nurse Joy and I will follow after the captain, naturally, but on our way, if possible, I would like to briefly glance over the Ogrins that fell and see how they're clad. Are they wearing Imperial?
Looks
gear,
like kind of
or-
Imperial-ish. It's hard to tell. It's basically just they have pants, which is fashion, and then it's probably some sort of military uniform, but no. They have the bottom, the layer, the tank top, so it's there's no insignia. They don't have the outer shirts on.
All right. So that was my primary question: is if they look like they are clad as Imperial Guard, or if they are some sort of independent militia or terrorist group, or
They're definitely somebody's soldiers. From what you know of Ogren, this level of clothing is not something that Ogrins usually vibe. Although, it's also kind of outdated, and there's not a lot of work on Ogren culture so much as how to mold Ogrins into Imperial Guard soldiers and the bonehead operations, which, but these are not boneheads, but they're, it does look a lot like the standard Imperial Guard uniform, but there's no outer shirt, which means there's no insignias, which means it could be anybody.
intriguing.
Probably trained
Very well.
soldiers, though.
Take a few medical scans for me, Nurse Joy. I would like to examine those later.
And she starts scanning. But yeah, you guys make it all the way up. And
Pants are the first sign of civilization.
and as soon as you get to the gate, it opens a little bit. And there's a young woman poking her head out. You kind of see officer uniform. It's hard to tell. She's got the las gun pointed. Who are you?
So what's pointing at us?
The barrel of a las gun, and it's like the gate's just wide enough that the barrel can go through, and you can kind of see a person behind it holding the trigger, demanding to know who you are because.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
go
this is
ahead.
obviously a rookie mistake. I'm just gonna kick the door hard with my foot, which will obviously slam into her and knock her on her butt.
You roll a strength check. I'll allow it, or a weapon skill, your choice.
Well, let me see. What do I have?
Yeah, brute
what does
force
Nerves
or
of Steel-
finesse.
What does Nerves of Steel do, by the way?
It means you can't be pinned, I believe. So if you can't take penalties for shooting when they're being shot at you, I will check on that.
I'll look it up.
All right. But yeah, it's
Okay, so I'll use that.
It allows you to re-roll failed tests to avoid being pinned.
there you go. Yeah. So if they're shooting at you and you want to shoot back, you have to. Yeah.
Ooh, 38,
All right.
and my weapon. I don't add a bonus to this roll, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. So 38, and my strength is 40. So
Yeah. So
barely made
you
it.
shove it back, and the last gun stops, but you give it a good shove. The barrel cracks. She's pushed back, and
And I
not
looked at her and
expecting
said, "Show more respect to the captain." Pointing a weapon at her like that. Where are your manners?
manners. I have my entire command staff missing, and you want to talk manners?
Do I need to remind you of more lessons in manners, madame? You're speaking to Captain Jurian Filmshill, not some common...
Captain of whom? Imperial Navy? Navy ship?
I don't know. Is the rogue trader part of the...
Rogue traders are their own thing. They have their own... they are Imperial authority, and they do hold the authority of the God Emperor to do whatever, but they're not officially Navy.
Captain Jurian has the authority of the God... I won't say this. I won't say the Imperial Navy, so I'll obviously skew it towards the other description. Captain Jurian has the authority of the God Emperor himself. You will show the proper respect.
I have the authority of the God Emperor himself. Anyone in the...
Well, you just got the door. You just got kicked in by a door. Obviously, you don't.
I don't have the blessings of the... Who... Are you Imperial?
Yes. Ish.
Okay.
Ish.
Okay. And she's kind of holding it. And do you know who took my commander?
That's what we're here to find out, madame.
Okay. You could have boxed ahead, or I wouldn't have had my... Kind of holds the box. Stop shooting, they're Imperial troops. What about Grack and Crack? Are they...
Dead? Yes.
Oh, fudge. Get a medic out and check on Grack and Crack. Be careful. Take grenades. Go.
They were not marked clearly as soldiers belonging to the Imperium, so how would we know? The only clue that we even knew that they were civilized was they had pants on. And that's the bare minimum you can ask of a civilization.
It's hard enough getting these guys to wear shirts. Trying to get them to... They never...
So, my dear, you're saying you don't have control over them?
Have you ever worked with Ogrins before, Captain?
That's a good question. Let me ask. Have I ever worked with them before?
You don't have any on the ship?
No, of course not.
Because you can't get them to wear pants, that's why.
Relative.
There's a bunch of pantsless guys walking around on ship.
They need to be trained.
I've worked with enough under my authority to know how to control those that are under my authority. So please, if you don't believe they were controllable, then maybe they should not be under your authority.
Maybe if we'd had a proper...
Captain, technically they will be under her authority once they're buried.
Actually,
indeed.
If you had been enemies, it would have been perfect. And I had no reason to believe that you weren't enemies. That's what you do with Ogren. You turn them on the enemy and you say, go, kill.
So do you believe anyone that comes here are enemies of you?
Given the circumstances? Anyone who doesn't box ahead is
enlighten us about these
suspect.
Circumstances.
Given, usually...
Now, do you have a title?
Me, Lieutenant.
Lieutenant? Obviously, you made the poor choice because you had those poor Ogren come out there and just immediately die. So perhaps that wasn't the wisest strategy, just sicking them on any stranger if they can't handle.
She sighs.
Perhaps they need more training.
Maybe they do. Maybe if we had our commander, or we had proper weapons, or we had...
Are you able to bring them back so that they can get more training?
Commander?
I said Cutter.
Cutter. Dear Cutter.
Is a top-notch cutter. And
yes.
Johan, you have quite a way with words.
He's tech priest. Look, I'm sure your tech priest could do something useful, but...
Certainly, point me in the right direction, Captain, and I will be happy to serve.
Your ogres. That was quite useful.
Have you seen General Hawthorne? Do you have any idea where he is? He led the sortie, and they took him, and if you have any
sortie to where, dear?
She kind of gestures. Why don't we come in and not be standing outside the gate?
Indeed, you seem awfully flustered. I think you need to take a breath.
I think I need to
Take
not
a
be in charge
moment.
of this anymore. I'm a lieutenant. I was
That's obvious.
an adjutant. I was not supposed to be in charge, but the God Emperor asked difficult things of us all. Come in.
And Jarian's just gonna walk right in.
Yeah. You guys, it's a compound. You see the barracks, training barracks.
How dirty is it in here?
Yeah.
Have they been keeping it up?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, there are definitely a few areas of dust and debris from whatever was shooting at them, but yeah, there's no. It's relatively well maintained.
Okay.
Yeah, and you come in and the room is clean. It certainly has been cleaned in the last week, at least. It's barren. It's pretty. Think of it like a middle school cafeteria kind of level of there's chairs, there's table, but it's very clinical, basic. She kind of sets a kettle to make tea, and just says, "Okay, we train our boys for the fight to
Johan
serve
is
the
behind her
Imperium."
with like air quoting train.
She kind of closes her eyes. They know to obey Imperial authority, which is the most important thing. Tactics involving Ogrins usually mean overwhelming numbers thrown at poorly armored enemies until they overwhelm them or get overwhelmed. They are tough and...
You only had 2 Ogre in your forces?
No, I sent them out as a scouting party and they...
Tried to overwhelm us with 2 versus 8?
That wasn't my plan. The plan was to have them scare you and then have you think you killed them off and then send a wave. But we are also running low on troops, given everything that's been happening. Kind of serves you tea in little plastic cups.
Speaking of that, could you share with us everything that has been happening so we can have an idea of what's going on? Tell me a little bit about this sortie that your commander went on.
Well, we have someone attacking us. We have the guns, obviously. The main guns, those got taken out immediately. There was a encampment of Xenos, I think. Enemies of the Imperium. They definitely were not Imperial. They attacked. We sent out a few waves. They backed off a little bit. Of course, now we are behind on our conscription tallies, and we have no way to contact the commissar because our radio, our long form Vox got knocked down. So we have internals, but not anything beyond several hundred meters rather, but still not enough to contact, say, Baltec and have them send reinforcements or anyone in orbit or anyone really. They appear, they have I don't know. They have something. It opens.
If I may inquire, do we have any hololithic or video replications of this Xenos attack? I would like to examine.
Pics. Yes, we have pics. I think. Kind of going through. Our cameras definitely got taken out, but we do have a few pics from earlier. And kind of
examining the pics might illuminate the situation a bit, I think.
Maybe the hole opened in the sky. We know that much.
Hole in the sky.
Hole
Intriguing.
in the sky. Well, probably not in the sky so much as warp, so much as something. You're a tech priest. You probably understand better how these things work, but it was definitely not a solid object that they came out of. They came out of nothingness itself.
Well, some sort of warp gate, I would imagine. That's conceivable.
If possible. And it kind of shows. And you recognize, I want to make you roll. These guys are Eldar. Probably Dark Eldar.
Ah, intriguing. The
Corsairs,
Eldar.
Probably They're not Harlequins, but they do appear, have dark armor, the ridiculously pointed helmets, the ears,
So I will. Yes, I'll go ahead and report that to the captain. There, say, Captain, it appears that they were attacked by Eldar.
Oh, that's bad, right?
Eldar are enemies of the Imperium.
Okay.
They're nasty foes. The Corsairs, specifically, they tend to be not fun. They go around, they take down Imperial ships. You fought them before. You managed to fight them off. You fought off Eldar Corsairs before. You know how to deal with them. They're not.
And would I have any idea why they would be here?
None that you can think of. Eldar do tend to pick on weak targets. Corsairs, especially, they might have just seen a planet with defenses, a small agri world with Imperial Guard recruiting for Algorans. Well, they're not. Abhuman Regiment recruitment is not high on the list of priorities, so it could have been a nice, easy target. But it is odd. It is an odd choice of targets. But it's not unheard of to say, well, this is a fairly poorly defended planet that it seems to be doing
Is it possible
well
this
against.
used to be an Eldar world? Like there may be some.
Eldar worlds are few and far between and are highly guarded secrets as to where they actually are. Also, Corsairs tend to be
a former
ship-based.
one, not a current.
Oh,
like one
former
that
Eldar
was
worlds?
lost.
There'd be no way to know.
Okay.
Yeah, Eldar ruins are not unheard of, but not on this planet as far as you know.
But I will write down in my notebook, ask next Eldar I see. Is this
I mean, you could try.
You can go up, you have a cup of coffee. Could you tell me whether or not this world was one of yours?
You do know a little bit that it's probably not inhabitable by Eldar, exactly. It's barely habitable by humans.
So it would
And
suggest
for
that they were interested in some natural resource here, presumably.
Yeah, natural resource, or they thought it was easy pickings. There is, they have the knives, they have weapons. It is an interesting, the metal is a useful natural resource. That could be possibly why they're looking into it.
So tell me, Lieutenant, how long has this recruitment center been here?
Well, I got stationed here 20 years ago. So, back 19th birthday. So, 20 years, right? And that's...
And this is the first time it's been attacked?
Yeah, first time.
Have there been any changes recently?
There was something happening in the capital that had messed with our weapon supply, but, not that I can recall.
I see.
They brought in...
You are a fount of information. I appreciate this. Looks at Johann and Cutter. Any thoughts?
Well, it sounds as though we must look into the disappearance of this commander or leader. If my father's cousin is no longer present or has been abducted.
Cousin, you're of the Kurosawa clan?
Yes, I am Magos Jin Kurosawa. Apologies for not having introduced myself earlier.
Magos is in a tech priest. They've had some problems in Brenton. I hadn't heard anything from them. The weapon supply was off. The shipments are coming in late and sporadically, and we sent word but had no reply.
But that is unacceptable. Captain, I do recommend that we investigate this. I feel some vestigial duty to family to investigate, though, of course, my duty to the cult and to your service come first.
believe we should as well. So, and she kind of rubs her chin for a moment, and you can see her kind of thinking. I suppose we could check out the location that the commander was last seen, or where he was headed.
North
Would seem
of
to
here.
prove enlightening.
She kind of pulls out a map. So, if you head to the north, we have a base is the wrong word. It's a practice
Forward camp?
getting the guys used to traveling by tank.
A forward camp, perhaps?
Yeah, it's more of a training center. We ship them out there to get them used to being shipped out and then ship them back. Trying to get them to ride in cars is in enclosed spaces is difficult at best. Practice is key. There's not much there, but we did get a call that one of our Lieutenant Bradshaw. He was one of our other lieutenants. The two of us, we'd tag off who went out with the recruits trying to, and he tagged out for this one, and we had a call, a bit of a call for aid. Said they were being attacked. They weren't armed properly. They had the knives, but they didn't have ripper guns or anything like that. They were, it was supposed to be just practice getting them places. It wasn't supposed to be shooting, so they didn't have their guns, and he had a las gun, and he didn't even have a bolt pistol. He fended them off best we could. The commander took a bunch of our boys and went out to try and do something, and told me to keep tabs on here, and there was the strafing run. I was keeping everyone calm during that, and then I haven't heard from the captain since.
How long ago was the strafing attack?
3 days, I believe, was the last of the strafing.
So they've got a minimum 3-day advance on us?
I suppose, if that were the case.
So, Captain, I'm wondering the likelihood that we're going to find our general there, because if these are Eldar, they probably would have just stuck around for 3 days, hanging out when they can obviously get on a ship and just go back to their Eldar, base of their operation location.
You'd be correct, but would you not think that we'd be able to find some clues there?
They're Eldar. They're very, very good at what they do.
Agreed.
We might get more information out of Cutter's relatives as to why they're here, and if we know why they're here, then we can know what they're here for, and go to there instead of just randomly tracking tracks and hoping that there's a straight line between us and them that we just have to follow a breadcrumb trail to. But I don't know. I'm guessing.
Well, I'm not one to believe that only my decisions are best, so I, of course, will take the information that you're giving, and would not hurt to follow your path, as long as you believe the God Emperor is leading you correctly.
Of course. It was just my aim, so I still believe he trusted me.
Very well,
Indeed,
then.
thus far, we have experienced much blessing on this venture.
So Cutter, what about how do you think this will go with your family? Is this going to be a pleasant family reunion, or?
In truth, I am not much in contact with my father's cousin. We may have met previously. I cannot recall at the moment, but I am certain that for the family honor, they will prove themselves loyal. And if not, they will be adjusted.
Through surgery or otherwise.
If such an opportunity should present itself.
Okay.
I live to serve.
All right, then. Then I do believe we have our decision. Let us make our way and be in touch with your family then.
All right. Okay. So yeah, you guys head, pack up, and Lieutenant says, "Do you have any air support in case they come back?"
That's a fantastic question. Quick question. Do we have any air support?
I mean, you probably have a
Aside
few
from our
flyers
vessel?
that have.
Yeah.
You probably have some on the ship that you could probably lend out if you wanted. The question is whether or not you want to.
So yeah, I got a procedural question for like how a rogue trader ship operates.
Yeah.
Like, what role do I play? Like, for example, I'm thinking now, now that we know that Eldar and that our ship should probably be alerted to be on, aware that there are Eldar about and they should be prepared. And just
yes.
who would make that call? Would I tell that to the troops, or would
Either
Jerry tell
whoever
that?
has all of you have comm beads, micro beads, which are comm links that link all of you, and you can.
But I mean, there's probably protocol on to who. Like,
Yeah, I would
protocol?
expect you to do it because that's not necessarily something I need to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Okay.
understanding is the arch-militant is basically in charge of the ship's troops, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will do that then. I will radio ahead to the ship and let them, and apprise them of the situation. Let them know that Eldar are present. Don't they cloak or something like that? Don't they have cloaking
Eldar
capability?
do have cloak. They also have access to the webway. You would know.
Ah, yes.
So
Fascinating.
I will proceed to make sure that the underlings know to look for such signs of them using cloak travel if possible, and to be aware. And do we have how much do we have fighting ships, like small fighter craft?
You would have a handful of them.
How much is a handful?
This is a question I had not thought to think. I would say you probably have 20. A fleet.
Okay, so
You're a rogue trader. You have lots of resources. You have 20 probably small
and
craft.
how having fought the Eldar before, I'm sure we had our small ships fighting their small ships as the bigger
on
ships.
occasion, although
the
usually
whole-
they go for, if you can't get their boarding craft, they generally go straight for boarding. That's their plan. So if you can't, if you can intercept them, that's fine. If you can't, they board and they don't, and then you need to fight in the ship. That's your, they tend to like swords. They, or not the Tau, they want up in problems. So they generally go.
Did the video footage have footage of the ships, of the bombers?
The footage.
Alaska Cutter? These recruits seem very poor at using their video surveillance. Perhaps you could aid me in this.
Video.
Can you please look and can you check the records for any possible footage of the bombers that attacked, so that we can gauge how much of our troops we should spare, like of our aircraft we'll need to defend the place in case they return.
You do have about 3 minutes worth of footage of the picked footage of the bombers coming through and before they close off, and there's someone shot one of the cameras got shot and the footage goes
Can I
away.
get an idea of how many of them there were?
5. Yeah, there were 5.
So
Significant number of bombers. Hmm. The
It does appear
bombers,
to be 5 ships, at least before the cameras were shot. So,
but on the other hand, okay, by looking at the models, can I see if they were if they were just meant for bombing, or if did they look like they were fighting craft? Because there's a difference
Fighting.
between a bomber and
They're not bomb. They were strafing, shot strafing. So what they were doing was the strafing pattern. They were firing some sort of las weapon directly at whoever's below. Just runs, zigzag runs, based on what you saw. You don't know the exact attack pattern. You can kind of see the lines, mind you, of the damage, but it was turret-based lasers, not or plasma, not bombs.
Do I have any sense of whether, like, one-on-one, our fighters are equal to an Eldar fighter or not?
Depends on the pilot, but yeah, they could probably. It depends on, they're equally matched depending on the circumstance. They're not. One's not particularly way more difficult than the other.
I'm going to talk to our ship and ask the whoever's in charge of the airships there. I'm sure we have like a our version of
think
Space
that would be
Force.
Zyle.
Whoever those
Zyle
guys
would
are.
probably be the one who's. I have a whole list of high up ranking people on the Expectus Primus.
And then Zaya.
Yeah, it was probably Odette actually, because she was born on Voidborn, so she knows space.
Who? Odette?
Odette, yes.
Odette.
Fellow arch militant.
Odette? Well, staticky here. Odette Obrams.
Yeah, I'm over. We're here. What's going on?
All right. They apparently have five or so Eldar ship appearing out of the void occasionally to attack this base that we're at. How many can we spare? Can we spare about 8? 8 of our ships to protect?
Yeah.
And still have enough to protect our own aircraft, our own ship.
Well, the strange ship in orbit hasn't moved. It doesn't look like it has capability for any air-to-air. So
I'm not talking about that ship. I don't care about that ship.
But that's the only threat to our ship that is here. It's a small agricultural.
Except the other one attacked from the void. It didn't. It was sending ships through the void. This doesn't look like an Eldar ship, does it? Does that one in front of us look like an Eldar ship?
No, that's not an Eldar ship.
Did I just say that we were attacked by Eldar ships? Yes.
And you think they might have reason to attack us?
They will after we just.
I mean,
defended. We're defending. We're currently defending.
I mean, if the Corsair vessel will just use our own guns on the Corsair vessels, the air-to-air shooting them out with turrets is best move to get the borders anyway.
All right, then that's a good plan. Then, Captain, with your permission, I would like to leave 8 of our ships to defend the recruitment.
Of course, permission granted.
I want just enough to give us a number superiority.
Yeah.
To counter their surprise.
Of course.
Yeah, Johan's not taking any lip from Odette.
That's kind of. Yes, I will send 8. Where do you expect? Right where you came down is where you're seeing the attacks?
Yes, please.
Are they current?
Well, from where you can't. This isn't your first time, ma'am. You know how to track us.
Yes.
You have our.
I know,
so
but
that's
what you want.
Right now.
Sending them to where you are, not some other part of the planet.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. 8 ships coming your way. Should be 15 minutes at most.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Cutter, let us go visit your family.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, indeed. Time to pay a visit.
All right.
So, in the time that I've known Cutter, is he like a reserved individual, or is he like a friendly?
He's generally very cordial. get more enthusiastic when engaged in surgical or exploratory endeavors, speaking on topics that interest them, but otherwise, most of the time, they're just very polite. And let's see, I'm looking over my my talents and traits here.
Right.
He does have an air of authority, so he is very when put in situations where he is called upon to command, he's able to do that quite well. He's got good etiquette skills. So yeah, very formal.
Can I tell if he seems like has any reaction to meeting family? Is it just like he doesn't really care, or does he seem interested at all, or it's just that's like whatever?
Let's see. You know what?
I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No. Just for fun, I'm going to make a fellowship test here.
Okay.
All right.
And see how he. Yeah. He, as far as you can tell, not even a blip. It's like, okay, whatever.
Thank you, relative. He might be. Huh?
Yeah, he's like, these are, as far as you can tell, Cutter just seems to view these family members as they would anyone else in the Imperium.
All right. Good stuff. I'm taking notes on
What about you,
personality
Captain?
traits.
You have family in these parts while we wait for our ship to arrive? Our chariot?
Not in these parts, no. I have a father. He's the one who gave me my captaincy.
Yes. You also have several. There's a whole armada of ships. Yours is just one of them.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But,
none of them are in the area as of now, but and a lot of the Hemshell kids are, a lot of the people, younger generation are spread out over getting fostered on random planets, as you were before the
Right.
Expectus Primus showed up, but none on Grealth so far.
I prefer not to talk about my family, thank you, though.
Good.
Cutter crooks a single eyebrow.
All right.
Fascinating.
Okay, but yeah, you guys head out. Are you going to wait until the fleet arrives before you?
Leave the safe confines of the building? Yes.
All right.
So, question:
Sure.
Is Cutter the reformed criminal turned tech priest?
No,
Am
that
I
is
think-
Adeptus.
Okay.
That is, what's her name? She's that would be no. That would be
Okay.
Adrena Genre, who is
I just saw it there. I was like,
yeah, no.
Who is that?
Adrena. Yeah, Adrena. She came with you from Bertland. She swears she's changed. How much? But she's from your home. That was one of your people. Most of them are your father's people, and then of course your navigator you had to negotiate for. Is an interesting negotiation based on the fact that your father may or may not have. Well, she is the navigator house has several children who are not navigators because that is highly, highly illegal. So you kind of blackmailed her with that. But
Gotcha.
yeah, the head of the Stevenson
Okay.
house. But yeah,
Our negotiations were easy. It was like, can you get me off the planet quickly?
yeah.
I'm your new weapon person.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of
Why? No reason. You can talk quick.
yeah. There were several explorer. Also, fun fact: the Expectus Primus has a teleportarium. So,
Huh?
if you need to leave in a hurry, you can get back.
Okay.
That is also why you have so many
Yeah.
tech priests, because aside the one you brought from Berlin, they kind of glommed on after the orc attack thing because
Well,
scary
that's
holy
important,
relic.
So, like, how can we do that? how quick is the process? So let's say we were suddenly getting bombarded by Eldar,
Yeah.
and we wanted to leave.
Yeah. You could. It would take about 3 half actions, I would say, and you all have to be touching, or it doesn't work. Or you mean you can whoever has the beacon. I'm guessing one of you has one. You can blow up one person and whatever they're holding. So if you grab hands in a chain lightning deal, you can all go up, or one person can just pop the beacon and go.
And it only very rarely randomly transports people into the warp.
There's a very tiny percentage. It helps if you know where you're going. Back to the ship, if you have a beacon, it's maybe 2%. If you don't know where you're going and you try to teleport to somewhere without knowing where you're going, there's a higher chance that things go wonky.
But a negligible risk.
Sure.
Can we assume we've done this before?
Yeah, I would say probably a few times, at least once or twice.
Okay.
All right. And yeah, but yeah, the ships arrive. They circle.
Okay.
This is Eric, Elder to Johansson checking in. Over. We have the fleet here.
Oh, good. Well, do what you're supposed to do. Protect these poor trainees. Show them how it's done properly.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and you notice that there are we supposed to land or keep an air patrol? Land or air patrol?
Which will,
Captain's orders? We don't?
Sorry about that.
You're supposed to be the one in charge of knowing what's the best for this. That's why you're in that position.
You're the one the captain trusts. I'm just the pilot. Odette didn't give us any instructions. She said come down, had orders to come down and protect the place. That was it.
Ma'am, I am busy guarding the captain. That is my primary duty.
Okay.
Call Odette, tell her to get her head out of her butt and start acting like a proper Air Force lieutenant.
Okay. She thought you'd have orders. Over. And, yeah. So they're circling. You guys are good to go back if you want off. All right.
All right. I think with that in place, I believe it's time for us to make our way to see your family. Nodding at Cutter.
Mm-hmm.
Affirmative.
I didn't even have to improvise that role play because, Johan has no idea.
All right. Quick question as a DM to player thing. Do we want a 5-minute break? Because if we do, now would be the time to take it.
I would opt for one.
Okay.
As would I.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So we start, and then once you get there, you'll be on your way down to land. Okay. All right. I will turn it to this screen on the strip. And
Okay.
We're all dead.
We've all
That was quick.
We all died. And that's how the campaign ended, right there.
There it is. Alas, finished.
All right.
Eldar, never see him coming.
All right. I'll be back in 5.
Yep, me too. Oh.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I hope I'm not coming across as too aggressive, too really. I'm just role playing my character. It has nothing.
There we go.
Well, he's having to fake his way through being an authority figure. The best way to do that is just be aggressive. And if you're being aggressive, then they don't have a chance to notice it.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
Well, the good news is none of us have died yet.
I like how you say yet. Tear.
Just Warhammer, you know.
That's true. We're all going to die. I mean, we might.
If so, then it's time for Johan the 46's chance to shine. Ooh.
Oh, nice. That's a good day.
Lee, do you have an address where I can send something to you and it will arrive without risk of getting stolen? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, define stolen.
Well, like if someone leaves a package at your door, is it going to get nabbed? Yeah.
That's a good definition of stolen. I'm in. I'm in on that.
Wait, so did you say yes or no?
You.
No. Okay. Yeah, well.
Now comes another thingamabob.
Nice. Yeah, well.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
can you give me 30 seconds? I realize I should probably take a shot. So we should probably do that now. And not on screen.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
right.
hate it when you do your crack shot right. When you do your crack shot right on air like that. I think they can crack mine. All right, I'm done.
Hello, and welcome back to the stream. My name is still Lee. That is still Terry. That is still Jeff, also known as Sig. That is still Devin on the bottom. And we are good to go, I think.
I think so.
And to go forward.
Yeah, for those of you who are just joining us, we are running a Rogue Trader one-shot with Captain Helmschul, Johan Johansson, and Kota Kurosawa, who are investigating the dearth of soldiers on this planet called Grealth, and also a couple of cousins of the Kurosawa family who have been spotty in their communication and sending weapons to the training facility, which got bombed by Eldar. Or strafed, shot by Eldar, not bombs.
Demonstrating a shocking lack of efficiency.
No, they're Eldar. What are you going to do with them? But they seem to have gone up and about. So you have your own ships circling in formation. And you have a shuttle. You have a pilot. You have 5 soldiers who are offered to take fire and protect. And I also should tell you I screwed up on the Ogrins, and, well, they were easier to kill than they should have been. But
The God Emperor was with us once again.
yes, but this might not be the case later. But yeah, they
Wait, later.
well, you might not have to fight any local Ogrins. We'll see. But you guys are flying in. Are you going to Vox ahead, or are you just going to land?
What is the normal protocol? Because you're assuming that we don't. I was like, I have no idea how we're supposed to do it. So I don't know, like, if we do it, like, if I say if one of us says, like, oh, we're gonna do this, is that standard or not standard? And we don't know that?
Generally, it's considered polite not to just land flyers in people's unexpectedly.
I would assume just as a matter of like military protocol too, you would be like, this is so and so coming in for an approach vector. Do we have permission to land or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I mean is that shouldn't the recruits have signaled ahead that we were on our way?
I assumed you didn't tell them because you were trying to sneak in. You were trying to be stealthy.
I meant that since we're leaving the recruit statement or the recruitment base to the main city, that they would have alerted the people.
Oh, they can. They're not. I mean, Lieutenant is strikingly inefficient. Has been in a really cushy position, and this is not. She's not been have to be like in charge of the base ever. This is not something she was in charge of. This was not something she was planning on. She was very comfortable being basically an up-temp school teacher and the teaching people how to shoot.
You know how management really is, though. Like you have management, but the people who are under you know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And if the manager disappears, the store still functions for a long time after the manager is not there because the people under them really know what they're doing.
Yeah, this is kind of the opposite of that. I mean, to be fair, that if you wanted her to keep training Ogrins to do, if they, like training and facilitating that, sure. If you get attacked by Eldar, that is a wrench in the works of how things are supposed to run. You really need good leadership.
Maybe we shouldn't have put the Ogrins on the comms.
Yeah.
This Imperium! Hello!
Yeah. But yeah, you are. But yes, they might box ahead and tell them you're coming, but they might not.
Well, if they don't, then I will, because I guess that responsibility would fall to me, not Cutter.
It falls to you, whoever wants to take it, but yeah.
But I'll make it sound like it was our lieutenant, the lieutenant of the trainees with us, or the group with us. Like, weren't you supposed to take care of this already? Well, all right, fine. Jeez.
Okay. All right, yeah. You set up and you take off. Smooth landing, and you're heading in for approach vector. Local comms. Who are you specifically trying to contact? Open call, or are you trying to? Do you know anyone specific? There's the Imperial
we're
Authority in the town. There's the Kurosawa family, who are not officially Imperial Authority as such, but actually run everything.
Well, we're going to go see.
Kurosawa family.
Kurosawa family, right? So I would have them radio ahead to them to let them know that we're coming, and to clear any other local customs that we need to get to see them?
Yeah.
Also, if my family is basically running this place,
Mm-hmm.
they would probably be likely to treat us better if we identified. For example, if I were to identify,
Yes.
hey, there's a Kurosawa aboard.
Yes, there's a cousin coming.
Mhm.
All right.
Agreed.
Okay. You're back. Kurosawa. How many people in your shuttle, in your party, are coming in?
Eight
I'm
and a
assuming
droid.
you go through.
8 and a droid. Is that her name?
Let's see. You don't need to count Nurse Joy.
She's
He's with me.
Yeah.
Let's see.
8. We got the 3 of us and the 5 recruits.
9 altogether?
10 if you count the pilot.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. You've Sergeant Verberg and all of her 5 soldiers plus the pilot plus the little skull. But yeah, you guys understood. And you're in you were by chance authorized by Imperial forces?
You come to visit family?
Family, you say?
Yes, we're here to see the Kurosawa. We have Cutter Kurosawa in our midst.
Oh,
The famous
surgeon. Yes, the one who joined
surgeon.
the major biologist. I heard rumors. No. What I wanted to say was, so you came simply as a family visit? No authorization from other Imperial forces?
Yeah,
No
we
position,
were actually asked to come here to visit some outlying problems.
Understood. I'll pass along the message to...
And that we have information on those, and that we would like to speak promptly to them.
Yes, I will pass along
Without
the
telling
message.
you every single detail, because you're not of that level that know.
No, I understand. I just need to know basics of...
The military protocol.
We'll meet you in the courtyard. Have your pilot land.
Excellent, thank you.
It should be fairly obvious. And,
Damn.
okay. Yeah, and you, so you notice when you circle the courtyard, it is fairly obvious. There's the big Kurosawa estate, the largest in town. There's a smaller building next door, and then there's... The best description of those would be hobbit holes, if hobbit holes were built by orcs.
Of course.
Interesting.
They're a little bit messy, but they are underground blobs of housing of some sort. There's you can see a lot of people. They look pretty big, just running around. It looks kind of still like they're chasing each other almost. But yeah, there's a bunch of them. It's quiet. Fairly, you see a patrol around the edges. And it's mostly Ogren. There's one who looks like more regular, who looks tiny, like an ant compared to the bigger Ogrens, or not like an ant, but like looks much smaller compared to these huge Ogrens, who's kind of keeping an eye on the patrol. And
why are their defenders all this tall?
yeah, and then there's this huge, big building that is old, and it is very much a Manufactorum vibe. And it is... There's something about that one. There's the big building that's surrounded by its own fence, and then there's the house, which is clearly the Kurosawa house, and then which has a courtyard, which is very clearly delineated.
So that must be the weapons manufactorum where they
Yes.
produce the blades.
Yeah.
Mm.
And you notice a lot of big piles of corpses. Not corpses, human corpses, but some sort of animal. getting pulled toward the big building.
Ah, yes, the other manufacturer, the other source of industry, the butchering of local wildlife.
Yes. They seem to be coming in. Yeah. And it seems like a thrumming, and you kind of do a little flyover. It seems like thrumming industry, and you can kind of see someone has the gun pointed at you, and they're being told, "Don't fire." You can kind of see they're not firing, but they do have their weapons pointed at you as you kind of dip down into the courtyard, and there's a nicely squared off landing zone for you. But yeah.
Jarian stands over the pilot, watching.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, yeah, I got this, ma'am. I got this. Just quietly, slowly but surely, lowers it down. And in fact,
Don't be
does
so
successfully.
nervous, dear. We're fine. Just don't crash.
And you just kind of deep breath. And Arden Kane leans you safely down in your spot.
Is this something that normally a problem?
I haven't crashed this yet.
I do love
Yeah.
how you use the word yet at the end of that. That's very nice. Carter, would you be a dear and lead us, as it is your family, and probably have a better chance moving us forward than any of the other ones here?
Understood. I would be honored, Captain.
Okay.
I will take the lead then.
All right. Yeah, you head out, slowly but surely. You head out, and you notice that kind of there's a small welcoming committee consisting of 4 Ogrins who look. It's not exactly suits, but this is more well dressed than you've ever seen any Ogrin ever. They've actual like buttons on their shirts, and like these are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these guys are. They have ties. They're fancy.
I'm totally imagining these guys with like cut off shorts and a tuxedo shirt,
I mean, no, they have full pants, but yeah, it does have. But yeah, these guys are better dressed than most Ogrins, and we're kind of standing, flanking a nervous-looking woman, who kind of is fiddling with an amulet she has around her neck, and also a young secretary, and a bored-looking.
Is the amulet? Is the amulet the religious symbol, the cult symbol?
I mean, it's an Aquila. That's the Aquila is a double-headed eagle. It's considered.
Oh, right, yes.
The symbol of the cult Mechanicus has the gears, and the sign of the Omni-Side is like this. But yeah, they have. She's wearing an Aquila pendant, so not a heretic. Good God Emperor fearing woman. And the second one you notice, that one, yes. And the other one you notice who's quiet is she looks a lot like, not a lot like Cutter, but enough that you're like, huh. Same background, same population. There's a thing there. She's kind of standing quietly, patiently waiting. And the 2 of them are just kind of standing, waiting for you.
The respirator unit and the Vox synthesizer do obscure the features a bit, but
Yeah.
Around the eyes you can see the family resemblance.
Yeah.
Of course.
But yeah. Yeah, and
so I will go ahead and exit the ship, and well, if we haven't already done so.
yeah.
And I'll lead the procession, and approaching, I will give a formal bow of acknowledgement, respect. I say, I am Magos Jin Kurosawa of the Adeptus Mechanicus.
What? Your name's Cutter.
Everyone calls them. That's their.
Oh.
Yes, they have a more practical, formal name. But yeah, they both bow. And the younger one, who's maybe hasn't quite hit 20 yet, says, "There's much gossip of you in family circles. Joining the Magos was an unusual choice."
Rest assured, there was much calculation made in making that decision, and ultimately the data supported the decision. I would be very interested in scanning these rumors at a later date when time offers. But in the meantime, I believe we have some business to discuss.
Yes, and others. Yes, my name is Alicia Demerick. I was married into the family. My wife, Indra. I almost took the name. Anyway, they've gone missing.
They have gone missing.
Yes.
Seems to be a continuous problem on this planet.
Yes.
Alicia, allow me to make a formal introduction to my captain, Rogue Trader.
Rogue Trader.
Captain Jerrison, Jerry on the Helmshoal.
Captain Helmshoal. And she kind of makes the sign of a keel and half bow. A pleasure. Welcome to our humble city. Would you be willing to help in the search?
Well, of course.
We seem to have... We received a ransom note about 3 days. They'd gone in... my in-laws had gone to inspect the manufactorum. Manufactorum, it's a term used loosely, but it does produce what needs to be produced, so I suppose that is a term. And they had gone in, and things were going well, and then Indra promised me she went with them just to check on things. She does a lot of the day-to-day as they're growing older. The rejuvenate treatments work, of course, but someday they like to move out, and perhaps a retirement was talked about. In any case, she went with them, and I have not heard from them since. We have... I had received a ransom note, requesting that a certain token of almost admittedly Xenos origin was sent with the weapon shipment to Pardell. We've been trying to keep up with the weapons, but given everything's in a bit of disarray, the shipments are being slow. Please, welcome. You are, of course, welcome here. As cousin of the Faust, and we can make you, and the rest of the crew as well, we can provide a hospitality, should you wish. And any help in finding what happened would be quite appreciated.
Speaking on, if I may be so bold to speak on behalf of the captain, I should like to offer our aid in such capacity as it is available to us, and under the authority of the Imperium.
Of course. Yes, there are connections, at least a few family members. I mean, my own father has a small moon. He's Imperial Governor there. I was supposed to get married off to someone useful and,
Yes,
well,
they were abducted.
No, Indra was.
I'm seeing a pattern on this planet.
Indra was the one abducted. I haven't been abducted by anyone.
Yet.
Well, we received a ransom note. They haven't responded. It was sent via a courier of some sort.
Come in. Shep.
A courier.
Shep, do we have any, Shep, do we have any, like, homing devices, tracking devices?
The closest you have is the teleport harm beacon, which you are
No,
carrying.
I'm asking that we can use on other people to keep track of it.
You have ship's scanners. I don't know if that would help much. It would give you a general idea of what you couldn't paint to a certain person's
put that
DNA,
on
for
another
example.
person and track them with it.
You would have to have something
God
of
damn it,
theirs.
we had trackers in the 2nd century. Now, 38 centuries later, we don't even have homing
I mean,
devices?
to be fair, the guard has flak armor from that is basically equivalent to those in the 1950s. So a lot of technology got lost. But yes, you
Alicia,
would have
if
to have
I
some sort of something would have to give off a signal. That is to say, if they had a vox or a some sort of cogitator. Tech priests are great for tracking because they have the cogitators built into them. That it would have to give
Indeed.
something that would give off an external signal. That you would then be able to pick that up on a scanner, scan by wavelength. If you have no basis for comparison on what kind of signal they're sending out, good luck tracking them.
if it were possible, Alicia, if you
Yes.
have any personal effects or such that belong to your wife that may contain perhaps some residual materia that we might be able to analyze, something that would give us a genetic pattern, perhaps.
Yeah, I would absolutely find.
I expect that she would have similar patterns to my own, but something more precise
No,
would be preferable.
absolutely. I could get you her DNA, but you can't really do much with that, can you? Other than
It may become useful for analyzing, or if, as our arch militant suggests, perhaps some sort of scanning. If we get into vicinity of your abducted wife.
Yeah, I have DNA, and she tends to blush. Yeah, I think I can find some DNA. And she blushes bright red. And
Cutter gives absolutely no indication that he has any
and
that he senses any weirdness about this.
and the other young woman kind of snorts. Yeah. No, yeah,
you may
can't
render
track
it unto
based
my,
on DNA. You
my
can-
servo skull nurse Joy if it is more to your sensitivities.
She kind of. Oh no, I can get DNA. Don't worry about that. And the other young woman rolls her eyes. Yeah, oh, I'm sure you could. More to the question. My parents are also kind of missing, so they would be helpful to find.
Yes, I hope that they are all being kept in the same location.
Indra, is all well and good. I
Stop.
love him,
Ma'am,
but
how
you
many
know.
missing people are we talking about? Because every time we turn around, there's like more.
Only the
missing.
3 of them. Only the 3 of them.
Are you sure?
Well,
Your wife and your
Have you
parents?
have you done a head count lately?
I
Perhaps you should do a head count now, just to make sure you have the people you think you have, watching the people you think you have.
Ava rolls her eyes. Yes, I checked in with everyone this morning. We were all there.
That was this morning.
Fine, I'll go and check to make sure all of my younger siblings are around. Happy?
Well, I think it would make you happy. They're your family. I don't care if they're missing. Good Lord.
Just kind of sighs.
I think perhaps
your
under the
family?
circumstances, Arch Militant, if I may respectfully interject, perhaps we might consider the emotional needs of the moment. There may be difficulties in processing emotions given the circumstances. Things.
That's one way of putting it. I'll get the sample for you. Why
here-
don't you come
you're-
in, and I'll have someone make up some food.
Your counsel is welcome. Cutter,
I understand
I'm-
tempers may be running high given the circumstances and the sense of loss that may be experienced.
and adrenaline. When the adrenaline starts kicking in after a firefight, sometimes
So
it's time for me to come down.
Cutter reaches out sort of awkwardly and with his where is it? He's got like an extra mechanical arm.
Yeah.
It's kind of thin. He sort of extends it and sort of pats her on the shoulder consolingly. There. Help has arrived.
Kind of nods. Okay. Come in. And kind of leads you into the entrance hall. And Ava, the younger, is kind of like tells one of the servants, who you notice are almost all Ogren. Go.
Curious choice of staff.
Well, it's who's local. They're
locally sourced.
Yeah, exactly.
That is efficient.
Kind of tells him, And she kind of runs off, and she kind of
Bloody hell!
her
Did we
sister
just
kind
send
of
her off
beckons
on
you.
her own? We probably should have had someone go with her in case she gets abducted.
Uh,
Well, you do
yeah,
have some
but
troops you could send. I mean,
yeah, that's true. You have a whole
Well,
coterie.
we'll send one of our the first random one that pops by. Quick, follow that person to make sure they don't get abducted, please.
Luna is like, yeah, I'll go with her. Just sure.
And please do shoot off a warning shot if you are being abducted, so that we know that you've been abducted, so we don't have to have
yes,
more people go.
I think we're
look.
fairly safe in here, but sure. Kind of
That's what-
follows. The rest of you are kind of, the two of them go off, and then of course the younger Kurosawa sister goes off in a completely separate direction. While the rest of you are led in by this big, he kind of has these braids, just a mass of hair in these rope braids, almost dreadlocked, and he kind of, you find the missing ones?
You'll have to be more specific.
The boss and the boss's wife, you find them?
So the boss and the boss's wife and her
And
other
daughter.
is missing.
Oldest daughter.
Yeah, okay. So they took. Well,
Yeah.
they. Do you have any more? Are there any more family members that are present on this in this compound?
6 little ones. And the Ava.
Who's Ava?
Ava was, Kurosawa was the younger. You had the two women who met you. One was Indra's wife, one was Ava, who was the oldest of the remaining siblings, who's...
But she got abducted.
No, Ava didn't get abducted. Indra did.
Okay. So you're talking about the one that we've been talking to.
Yeah. Ava here.
Okay.
Little ones here. Wife here.
What?
Daughter wife here.
Can I recommend that you put extra guards around the little ones, because
Always.
if sending a note to your about the elders didn't provoke any action, whoever abducted them may go for more dramatic attempts at a ransom.
true. Under the circumstances, if this is some sort of a ploy to thwart our family ambitions, ending the line prematurely would be a possible tactic. Well spotted.
They said that about the 36 Johann.
Oh dear. But yeah, you guys are kind of lead you. Helric said. Helric say was humans. Strangers with guns like you. He kind of gestures to the. Say they ran back from the grinder.
The
grinder?
grinder.
The
grinder.
I'm assuming that's where they put the meat, where they do the meat process.
Grinder.
Right?
The ancient God Emperor gift that makes the knife sharp. He holds up a knife. Grinder makes them sharp. Makes bones stab.
Nurse Joy, please scan the materia of that blade. I am curious to analyze it.
And she and kind of begins scanning it. You notice that it is, it does look like the shape of a bone. It seems to be, and you notice that it has been ground down, probably using something like diamonds. You would guess, given the.
Consulting Nurse Joy's scans and looking at my data slate and the readouts of that, Does it look like it's actually bone, like organic material?
It is some sort of organic material. It's carbon, graphite, sort of. It's a lot of graphite compounds.
And
Yeah.
I basically, I like rattle off whatever the composition is to the captain.
Yeah, it is a lot of polymers, the kind of polymers you'd use to make replacement bone, to replace metal, carbon fiber sort of deal.
Interesting.
And but it does appear
Applications
to be
for cybernetic
possibly
use, I
organic.
imagine.
I mean, it's certainly not impossible to have. It would be incredibly, like like, if you had bones like this, that would be the kind of thing you would make a whole replacement skeleton out of if you could. This is incredible stuff.
Oh, Cutter's very interested now.
Yeah, but this is carbon polymer.
Interesting. The things I could do with this material.
Could you replace all of your own skeleton with this? These?
Ideally.
Yeah, but yeah, it is.
Speaking of creating superior troops, using this material to reinforce skeletons or replace body parts.
Yeah, this is.
Many possibilities. Great possibilities beyond the simple manufacture of blades.
So this ransom note, what did the ransom note ask for?
Notes say send thing with blades. Didn't see what we sent.
Do we have a copy of this ransom note?
Ask the wifey. She knows.
Perhaps we might want a more detailed explanation of what they're looking for than what we're currently being given.
Yeah, so, this is about when Ava Kurosawa comes back, and she's leading, like, a whole host of much younger, a bunch of kids, 13 to 8, a handful of, 4 kids somewhere between the ages of 13 and 8, following. Look.
So that all the kids are in one place, they set off the nuclear bomb. I got you all.
No.
Good.
Greetings under the Omnissiah, cousin.
Yes. Omnissiah, of course. Yes. Look, see? We're fine. She sighs. It was just Indra and Mom and Dad that got kidnapped.
Do we have a copy of that? I had already asked this, of course. Do we have a copy of the ransom note? I'm asking
the
Eva.
ransom. Oh, the one they sent her. Like, yeah, I think there's a copy. I mean, she didn't throw it out. Ask her.
I should like to analyze it.
Sure. And when Alicia gets back, like, you got a copy of that note they sent you? She kind of nods. Yes, I have She kind of holds something up. And then blushes. A DNA sample you wanted?
Excellent. Nurse Troy, please collect that for me.
And she and just flies forward and sends out a little right to grab a piece of cloth. There seems to be some lace on it. But yeah, it does contain some sort of a lot of epithelial cells, among other things. But yes, definitely could pull DNA from that.
This is satisfactory. Thank you.
Does the note have any more specific requests or just blades, like quote unquote blades? Because it seems very vague.
Well, to be fair, there is a. It says, please send the enclosed talisman with the blade shipment to Peldun, and your relatives will not come to any harm. That's what it. Now, blades, they ship. Pretty much, the blades are almost everyone on the planet has one. They are pretty strong stuff. They're very simple. and they're pretty much the only thing that's manufactured. They don't even have proper handles. They got the grip of the bone, and then you file the end into like a shank, and the only stuff strong enough to file it with is diamond, and the only place there is any diamond on this planet is in that building where they have a diamond crusted belt that you can use to file it down to a point.
Now, this is important. Does it say that they are not going, that they will not harm their relatives, or that they will not come to any relative harm?
It does say you will not harm your relatives. Oh,
Wording is important. It's true.
wording is important. No, it is. Your relatives will be unharmed. So she sent it.
So does
Whatever
the
talisman it
description
was.
of the amulet, does the description of the amulet sound familiar to you, Cutter? Or
Talisman.
what's being
Talisman, yes. It doesn't describe the talisman. It probably assumes that whoever had the note also had the talisman that was delivered along with the note. It was not a particularly...
sounds like it was an important clue.
Yes. It had a symbol on it of some sort. I'll draw it out for you as best I can, and got a piece of paper and draw out a symbol. It was
Paper,
like
how quaint.
This, and then this, and it had a boom sort of jagged like this, and then like this, and that symbol sort of here I will put it. I can do a thing. We have the technology.
I mean, the important question is, does Cutter recognize the symbol?
Cutter might not. Captain Helmshall, do any of you... Well, actually, do any of you have Forbidden Lore Xenos?
What I do.
I have forbidden lore, but it was not... My specialization was not specified.
Okay. I believe it was... That's the symbol. Here,
I know they have common lore.
Okay. Yeah, roll... Whoever has
have
Forbidden Lore
forbidden,
Xenos,
but
roll a check.
It's pirates or something like that.
Oh, wait, okay.
Pirating?
Corsairs. That is the symbol. It is a crude representation of the full thing, but if you look on the Twitch and
okay.
add it to the Discord.
I see.
I have, Forbidden Lore Pirates is what you wrote down.
Roll that. Roll a Forbidden Lore Pirates. It'll be slightly different than the Xenos here. Oh. But yes.
Sorry, guys. No, I've got average. I think that's average, 37.
Pretty high. I mean, no, it's not bad.
And I did not make the check.
It looks familiar. Captain Helmshall, if you roll an intelligence
between you and
check.
I, we can't roll below a 60 or something like that. Ridiculous.
If you roll
Imperium lore won't help, will it?
What? Imperium lore? No, but if you
Imperium
roll
lore?
a basic intelligence, because I think you probably might have picked up on
Basic
this.
intelligence. Okay, my intelligence is 41.
Oh, that's pretty good, actually. So you just have to roll below.
I rolled a 94.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're... This is definitely filthy Xenos stuff, but you have no idea what it is. But yeah, it sort of had that symbol, and it was shipped out to Pendros about a week ago.
It had,
or
Jared getting
6 days.
Xeno vibes from it, so. I think you said.
Yeah, I would say you would think it might have something to do with Eldari lore, but you're not sure.
Really?
But yeah, they.
Well, this is all starting to come together, gentlemen.
Well, feel free to fill us fully in then.
People kidnapped.
No, I'm not.
Not Xeno scum.
Oh.
People.
What?
People.
People. Very good. Yes.
People took.
People talk.
Elmar said.
Oh, good.
He might have said people
People
took.
have pointy ears.
No pointy ears. People. People like people, and kind of gestures to your soldiers.
But they were asking for Eldar lore.
Were they wearing uniforms like this?
No. Helmar didn't say, but
Pants.
Helmar didn't say. Said people. People with gun. Not Imperial people.
People
Not
with
God
gun.
Emperor people. But people. But small
With
people.
Ovaries.
Small
Okay.
people. But not fancy uniform small people.
So small people, not fancy uniform people, but people nonetheless. That narrows it down.
Well, at
Talk to
least not
Helric.
affiliated military. So
Helric might know. Talk to Helric.
Ooh, it's that.
We could talk to Helric.
They're good.
Oh,
Give me a job. Bring them back.
What's her name? Anna's here, right? Is that the one who didn't get kidnapped? Is that her name?
Ava?
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 Yeah.
Ava, could you be here and tell us who this fellow the Overton is talking about?
Helric? I think it's one of his
Yes.
friends. At the he has a lot of friends from what I remember at the grinder.
And have you had any of your people talking to this gentleman?
We spoke to the foreman there. He said he didn't know much. He didn't see what
That
happened.
Elric didn't know much, or that the foreman didn't know much?
The foreman didn't know much. We spoke to him. I think Alicia had him come in first. Ask about...
So is Helric the foreman?
No, I don't recognize the name.
So in 2 minutes of conversation, we've garnered a name that your inquiries didn't find.
I suppose he did.
Johan is not impressed with the planet in the slightest.
Yeah.
It's just
A
like,
shocking lack of efficiency in communication.
they're like, we asked one dude, what more did you want from us, man? Come on. He disappeared.
Look, they dressed up fancy for us. You're asking a lot.
Oh.
So fancy.
So that's half the show is looking good. So
Yeah. And they do bring, you do, at this point you see another couple, Ogren, coming in with a tray of tea. All of them have been menus so far, you've noticed. But yeah, he brings in a tray of tea. And,
could you
cookies.
could you gentlemen be a dear and get a glass of tea to go for the for Captain Jerian, and then
To go?
while we go to visit Helric,
To go?
obvious choice of people to ask information about.
And they kind of look at you like you're crazy. Tea here. Kind of picks up one of the cups and hands it. Tea.
But you make it sound like that would not beneath your abilities.
I will first drink some tea.
Okay.
Let's see. I have a respirator unit that is mainly intentioned to purify air supply. It has bonus against airborne toxins
Yeah.
and gas weapons. Would that have any ability to filter poisons like liquid or?
Yeah, I mean, there's the little lip. You can drink, put certain liquids in. No solids. You can't have solid food.
That's fine. Yes, I'll try drinking some, and I want to
there's-
make sure that it's also that it isn't poisoned before
No.
the captain has any.
Oh, no. It's, to be fair, not poisoned. And you might not know if it was poisoned, but Yeah, it filters out and kind of pour a little in.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, what type of tea is it?
It is oolong.
Future tea.
right. Thank you.
Yeah, that is oolong. All right.
And Cutter, how was the tea?
It is adequate.
Good, good. An adequate tea is the best tea you can have when on a mission such as this. As such, I believe I will take my tea as well then. Now then, where is this Helric we keep mentioning?
Friend. That one of the Ogrins kind of steps in.
You've said that. We understand. You're
He's
buddy
Grinder.
with him.
At the grinder.
At the
Third.
grinder.
Third
Good.
door, grinder. Always there.
Third door.
It's
We're
his-
going to the third door grinder. This is lovely.
Johan is like trying not to explode now that this information was really like 3 doors down. It's like,
All right. I will. So Jarian will begin to head down 3 doors. Just
Yeah.
I think we had to like
So you
take a
kind of
trek halfway across
approach. Yeah, you approach the grinder and you notice that they do have there's numbers. There's a slot, some sort of weird secondary building that you can hear squelchy sounds from. And they ship out, what comes out is these bones, and they look like the same carbon polymer of that they use for the knives, but they look fully bone-like. Seen like this, they're very clearly bones. But you hear the whirring of this blade, and you come in, and you can see this huge belt of really rough, and you can see these Ogrins kind of standing there very carefully. This is the most precise you've ever seen anything. Of course, you guys don't see a lot of Ogrins, but they're kind of holding the blades over the grind to shape them into blades or yeah, so you can see and behind door 3 you can see there are several Ogrin carefully.
Helric, I wish to speak to you. Come this way.
And one of them kind of looks up, blinks, pulls up these goggles, just all the sparks, and you just look. Helric? I'm Helric.
Yes, well, we understand you might have some information that could help us.
Information? Know stuff?
Yes, your friend, and I'm just going to point back at the door. Your friend said you knew something about these humans, these
Big Boss.
people. What?
Big Boss got taken. They stole the Big Boss.
Right. Now we're back to this. But could you enlighten us with a bit of information?
Stole Big Boss. There were 6.
Oh, we have a number.
What, 6?
Good.
That many? That many is 6?
Ava, damn it, do you have any Ogrin to human translators?
They
I
speak.
don't want to spend my entire afternoon talking to these idiots.
They speak pretty sensible common once you get a gist for what they're saying.
Well, good. Maybe you can translate then. All right. Where did you see these people go?
There. Through. Back door, up. Over wall. Over the wall. Yeah, they went over the wall. There's
And
a
what were-
back courtyard wall with
Yeah,
a fence.
okay. Let's not get stuck on this. Now, what were they wearing?
Clothes? Clothes. Soldier.
They just walked up a wall carrying other people.
They had a rope. They pull. Go to the wall and then boop. They pull up and then they jump and there's flame and they jump.
And why did you let it happen?
kind of blinked.
You blinked.
He blinks. Don't know. They had gun. They shot. They didn't want to get shot. Don't get shot. Don't let them use gun on you.
Trust me, the God Emperor will keep you safe as you need be. Now then, what type of clothing were they wearing?
Kind of, soldier clothes, not uniform. No head with any kind of mixed Aquila sign. Just like soldier, but no. And they have knives and boots and.
Johan's going to discreetly reach into a pocket and pull out a flask and take a quick swig of it and flip it back into his jacket. Just
like
All
soldiers,
right,
but
then.
no symbol.
No symbol. Indeed.
Are Eldar normally taller than humans?
Ogrins? Yes, Ogrins are like this guy is well over
Eldar.
Eldar, roughly ish.
Oh, I'm talking to him, not you. I wasn't trying to be meaty. I was saying he was. Are Eldar normally taller than humans? I don't know how Eldar look in this universe.
Human.
Eldar.
Human do the thing. Humans.
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 Small humans. We're
like
human,
short.
but big human.
Oh, I have an idea. Have you guys looked at your own video logs?
The Pict?
Perhaps. Maybe we could look at those and get a better instead of. And that way you could go back to what you do best, which is not talk. And we could look at the information and get information that we actually need.
He kind of looks confused, scratches his head.
Exactly. And, Ava, darling, can we please see the video surveillance of the area?
And Ava kind of looks. The foreman said there's no pics on the inside.
But they took them over at the wall.
Right. It was blurry at best. We looked at the video feed, the pic feeds. We looked at those. That was our first instinct.
You're saying that your surveillance cameras are blurry?
No,
That was never.
No, they knew exactly where they were. We only caught the edge.
It is entirely possible, Captain, if I may suggest, that this was an inside job carried out by laborers.
Johan looks at the laborers.
That's true. You've seen exactly one.
It's kind of complex.
Yeah, these guys are not particularly bright. You have not seen a single regular scaled human. They are all entirely Ogren. You do see the foreman. Originally, the foreman does come out, who is human. Can I help you? Are you bugging my workers?
Yes, I am. In fact, I'm about to be bugging you. And maybe you should have an adequate explanation of why the security around here is so shoddy when it is the main economic source for your planet.
I mean...
And yet you have second or even third-rate video surveillance?
I mean, the pics, there's a couple blind spots for the pics, but...
Yeah, now, you have blind spots, period.
I mean, this is the first time.
On it.
What do you expect them to steal?
Captain, maybe we should speak to some of the more imperial authorities and let them know what is going on here and how poorly
He kind of snorts. You want imperial authorities to care about some backwater agri-world? Nah.
Yes.
It takes years. It'll take years for them to even question it. And
it might if we didn't have such a notable figure as Captain Jernan
Helmschul.
Rejoice, therefore, the Imperium is here.
Okay, you're in... Wait. You're Imperial Navy or what?
Exactly.
Okay, look. The Kurosawa, the big boss, he was here, right?
He's a Kurosawa. We have one as well.
I kind of looks at, between the two of you, kind of looks at Cutter, narrows eyes. Okay, yeah, the Kurosawa have like 10 planets all over the place. It's fine. I get it. They're a big shot
And
family.
yet you're saying that we have no kind of pull rank on a foreman and a
Okay, sure.
Figure out how to run.
You could pull rank. Fine. Pull rank all you want. It doesn't fix the cameras now. The pics are the pics. That's what we got. And this is... I will tell you something. This is definitely freaking weird.
Go on.
So, some ship comes down, right? We hear about it, secondhand, gossip. Not visiting the Kurosawas, not going to pick up soldiers, just some other flyer. Comes down, just at the capital, you don't hear anything for days. Then you got a handful of idiots pull the Kurosawas.
Can I figure out if he's talking about the one that's circling around the...
No, according to him, this is something that landed... It landed just off there. He kind of points.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's somewhere. It landed. There were a craft that landed.
And approximately where is this? Because if these were the same abductors, they may still be there as they're awaiting or applied for me judgment.
Something... I'm not... Look, I know how to run an operation like this, make sure people work. I don't know how to triangulate how far a ship was from 80 800 meters? 800 kilometers, maybe? 100 kilometers-ish, give or take a bit.
So it's between 800 meters and 800 kilometers.
It's 100 kilometers.
That direction.
100 kilometers, that direction.
Now, does our ship have the ability to make scans on planets?
Yeah, you do have sensors, and finding a ship on a planet would be much more of a thing about easier than picking out a single person over the course of, a lifetime.
Especially on an agro world, I would imagine.
Ship.
Johan, what do you want?
I need, from our position where we are at, I need you to do a scan in a straight line from here to 800 kilometers, scanning for any signs of a ship.
A ship? Landing craft?
Yeah.
Here, let me bring up the auspex.
Possible alien in
nature? Like a Xenos ship? Do you honestly think there's a Xenos? I mean, we got the one in orbit, I got a ping.
We don't know, but...
doesn't seem like a Xenos ship, but... I got a ping about 200 kilometers out from where you are.
That's likely the one.
Yeah, I got a ping.
Weapons on it?
Weapon?
Does it have
it doesn't look... I mean, it's big, kind of big to be landing, but not maybe like 2 or 3 times the size of yours. Doesn't look like it's armed as best we could tell, but auspex only give us so much.
2 to 3 times the size of our shuttle, or 2?
The shuttle. No. It's you couldn't land the Expectus Primus on this planet.
Captain, perhaps I suggest we retreat to another mission.
No, it's like 2 or 3 times the size of the shuttle.
I believe that would be optimal.
Roughly.
Oh, all right. So should we make a foray in that direction then? Because I think we're on our course with these ogres here.
That would seem prudent. It merits investigation, if nothing else.
See?
And our 5 company, our 5 super companies are obviously more than 2 or 3 times whatever they have, right? So we should be good.
Yeah.
From the sound of the witness reports, they were only armed with knives.
No,
and
guns too.
And jetpacks.
Oh, they did have guns. Okay.
Yeah,
And
that's why
jetpacks.
how they didn't know it did anything because these guys, the foreman didn't see it, and these guys are not the brightest bulbs, and they see guns. No guns, bad, shoot, don't touch.
That's right. That's right. I'd forgotten that part of the conversation.
And so they're kind of like, don't do. So
Understandable, Carter. There's a lot of these.
I'm running
Of
about
these
3 or 4.
conversations.
I'm running about 3 or 4 subroutines right now. So the Ogren conversation is
yeah, no, that's fair.
a 5th priority.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are off on your way to perhaps. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you guys head out.
Yeah. So I will utter small words of encouragement to our pilot so that she does not crash us.
Yeah. Do you want to yeah, so you're going to hop on go back to the shuttle and fly out?
Yeah.
I guess 200 kilometers is a lot to walk. Okay.
I
How
believe it is indeed.
how close do you want to get? What's your plan?
Not too close because if the thing's like that much bigger than us. Captain, I would suggest that we may be in store for at least a small walk before we.
Right.
It might be a bad idea for us to land too close to a ship that large. I'll ask the person on the ship who did the scanning to let us know the weaponry, if there were any possible weapons, what types were available on it, like so that we can determine a safe range to land without getting blown out of the sky.
Doesn't look. I mean, it has a turret, single turret. Can't say if it's manned or not, but single turret at best, and a whole lot of cargo space.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm using the specs of that ship.
Yeah.
Can you give us an approximate safe distance that we can approach before our ship loses functionality?
They probably don't have auspice of more than 10 meters, honestly. Those things don't have. I mean, turrets are really not accurate up
We can just
closer.
land right on top of that ship. We'll just
That's good news.
we're here, guys.
Let's do it.
Yeah. 100 meters at most.
We don't also want to alert them too much to our presence. So if we keep low to the tree line, we should be able to approach it relatively unseen.
Yeah.
I'm asking as someone who doesn't know these alien technologies. To the extent that
It's
I know,
not an alien
can
ship.
we do that?
It's human make.
Like future
Ship's human make.
future tech.
Oh.
Well, future tech, I don't know. Like, can
Yeah.
we actually approach and not be seen? Is that the thing that's
It's
that occurs
a best
then?
bet. You say, okay, so they got an auspice range of 100 meters. So if you get within 100 meters, they'll ping you on the sensors. If you're closer, farther than that, it's a line of sight thing.
Okay, well,
Do they
then
have
we'll
anyone
approach
looking in the
low.
right direction, and can they see you?
I will have the ship scan the terrain around there and try to find an optimum place to land where they cannot see us approach due
it's-
to the.
Flat. It's a little
It's
hilly, but it is quite flat.
Looks like we're just gonna have to blow them up.
Wait, we don't know what kind
What?
of we don't know what kind of weaponry our shuttle has.
Your shuttle is unarmed.
We could have like a 10-meter range. Too,
No, it doesn't
like,
have
like-
much weapon. You have two twin linked a twin linked solid projectile weapon. Guns not very effective at. Yeah, not much more than it's what 50 millimeters. It's not.
Well, they just have to be effective at 15 meters. So
No, yeah, I can get you what twin linked. Anyway, you have twin linked solid projectile weapons. Effective range of 50 meters.
but Captain, I suggest we not blow their ship up because they may have Kurosawa hostages aboard.
Indeed, you are correct there. So,
So we will place orbital bombardment lower on our list of.
Yeah, I mean that
tactics.
is true. You got the expected supremacy in orbit. Although they also may have the ship. There is another ship in orbit, and it's running dark that you don't know.
True. Well, if that's the case, I mean, if they're working together, they've seen us since we've arrived. So
of
That's
course.
true. It's assuming they're looking, but yeah, they
The God Emperor will protect us, so why don't we just go and have a look?
all
well
right.
said, Captain.
And Pilot Kane kind of looks. So, how far out you want to go, Captain?
Well, and did you say that the ship on the ground has guns on it?
It does have a single turret.
Yeah. Would I know about the distance that gun could reach?
It's 10 meters, is what she said.
Oh.
That's why I was
100.
laughing. That's why I said we have
100. Okay.
100 meters.
So
Yeah,
if
it's 100 meters.
15.
Yeah, it's 100 meters.
Then I'd like you to take us 105 meters outside.
No, Captain, we cannot. We still have to walk down the landing.
I just want to see what they're going to do.
That's maybe 120.
What?
Give us a little operating room to leave the ship.
Do you not have faith in the God Emperor?
Oh, I have absolute faith in it.
Then 105 it will be. Do not question my authority.
All right. Yeah, 105. Particulars on direction, or should I just go in the opposite direction the gun's pointing?
Of course, the opposite direction the gun is pointing. Why would we go in the direction the gun is pointing?
Fair. And he kind of lowers.
I think that goes on the whole belief in the Emperor.
But yeah, they kind of.
I believe the gun was pointed in the opposite direction for a reason.
Yeah.
That's technical thinking.
He kind of takes the shuttle down, carefully gauging the distance, keeping low. He's going about like a meter or two off the ground. You're kind of
course.
looping around, approaching slow and low. Pilot's got some skills, and he kind of loops in, circles back and loops in, and you are. There's a slight boom, and you are down. You are. Shuttle's down.
And the gun didn't move. It didn't rotate.
No.
Well, you see there, it hasn't moved. Now the question remains: will it move if we come into range?
With any luck, no one is monitoring the exterior.
There's that.
You, third soldier.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. You.
Sure.
We
What?
need you to go about 5 meters that way and be ready to run back at the first sound.
Sure. Sneaky sneak like, or just go?
Nope. Just walking.
All right. They start
Thank
walking.
you for volunteering.
Kind of nod.
For
Yeah.
being volunteered.
Sure. They
It's
start
much
moving forward,
appreciated.
and about 3 or 4 meters out, there's gunfire. Not from the big gun on the top. There's las fire,
Snipers, perhaps.
and they come running back, getting shot at. Let me give them a.
So we were observing this because that was our whole purpose of doing
Yeah.
this.
So yeah, you observe and you see them running back towards you, getting shot at.
Well, they didn't
Would
have
we
to
be
go
able to-
too far.
Would we be able to open kind of a general link and see if we can pick up or catch
like
them
a-
on radio at all?
A full spectrum.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you open up over, you just whole spectrum Vox. What do you want to say?
Oh, that's a good question, my dear. I believe what we'll say is we are looking for information on the Kurosawas that were kidnapped. Any information would be appreciated.
You see one of your Narlik James, good guy. He has a couple kids too, and he see him go down, and right in the middle of. Well, actually, hang on. That
Down?
Yeah, he. You see one of the shots because these guys are getting shot at. One of the last shots hits him in the back, and he goes, thuds to the ground.
Ooh, you suck. You only had to go like 5 meters.
Well, that is unfortunate.
Yeah. But yeah, you watch as they come running forward. But yeah, you say that.
May the machine spirit receive him.
All right, you hear.
Well, soldier, we'll be
you
sure
hear-
not to tell your family of how sad you were as a soldier.
Yeah, and you hear. Oh, hey, we have a new follower. TMIR94.
Well, wonderful. Good to hear.
Praise
yeah,
the
sorry.
Messiah.
But yes, you got you hear that one of the soldiers calls out, "Which side are you on?"
Curious.
We're on the side of the God Emperor, of course.
Imperial troops?
Well, it depends. Which side are you on? How can I trust somebody who asks first without stating who they are with?
Catholics. Catholic family. We represent their interests.
I see.
All right, Catholic family. Note. Okay, write this down. It's important.
Good, because I don't know who they are.
Yeah. They tried to kill you a couple times.
It seems like something you should remember.
I
They.
don't know. Yep.
When you first got in your ship, you got into a bit of a fight with Arthin Catherick, who was a rogue trader. He was running a ship. You were both trying to establish a trade route. You used some he claims you used underhanded tactics to get the locals to hate him. You claim that he was just an idiot and dumb, and it's not your fault. There's a lot of enmity between your families to begin with, and that is an incident that this was years ago, but the two families do not get along, and
Of
these guys.
course.
But you also know that the ship in orbit is not one of the ships of the Catholic, that you know of the Catholic Armada.
So there's much going on this planet. Interesting.
Not a single Ogrin has any clue about any of it.
They're doing their best, okay?
The most uninformed. But so much going on.
Well, their vocabulary consists of something like 500 words. I think they were doing it extraordinarily well.
Yeah, they're yeah.
They were definitely getting mileage out of each of those words. No question.
One must.
Well,
So,
and I'll relay the information to Johan and Cutter regarding what'd you call it? The Catholics? What are they?
Catholic family?
Catholic.
Catholic.
Yeah, these aren't Guy Fawkes people. They're
Okay. So,
was I around for those encounters, or was that before my time?
you've definitely been around for some shit talking. You hear the name and you're like, oh, that whole rivalry.
So the interesting part to me is why, if these are the ones who did the kidnapping, why they would want that amulet.
That is the question, isn't it?
I mean, so they're rogue traders too, you said, right?
They're hired by rogue traders. They might not be rogue traders.
Okay. Well, I was curious. who hired you to kidnap these fine people of this planet?
Kind of crawl. You notice one of their soldiers crawling forward. Claim to represent the Catholic family in business dealings. Said they had a plan.
A plan?
Yeah.
Did the ship that they're using, does that have jump capability or
Warp? Yes,
capability?
it does have warp capabilities. In fact, Johan, roll an intelligence check.
Yes, please, Johan.
That's
Be
not what I
smarter
wanted to
than I
hear.
am.
Yeah, I barely failed it. I got a 57.
Yeah, no, it looks, Imperial, it's a ship, probably has warp capabilities.
Okay, so when Johann started putting the pieces together of what he thinks may be the plan, he wouldn't try to recall for himself if he knew what was on their ship. He would ask the ship that did the scan. He would call our ship and the ones who did the scan, and he would ask them, does that ship have warp capabilities?
Probably.
Well, do they have a warp reactor or
If
some such?
if they have,
Detect energy readings?
for example, if they have a Geller field generator, that would indicate such a thing.
They have a Geller field generator, definitely have warp capabilities. Probably some mercenary ship or something.
So that takes care of my first question. My first thought was that perhaps there was another base ship around here because if they didn't have that, then they would have to have more of them around here. But if they were big enough to do this operation on their own, they could be a solo entity, which highly reduces the amount of people that we have to deal with. So the question is, are they working with the Eldar? Is what we have to next establish.
Well, they did send a ransom note asking them to send something to.
Hey, Captain, could you perhaps
Ardell?
ask our friends the significance of the amulet that we now possess?
Of course. Now, my adversaries, could you please answer me a question? We're curious about this amulet that you mentioned in the ransom note.
Oh, yeah. Was a special box and everything. Had some sort of emotional significance, apparently.
Oh, I see.
And it was supposed to get to Peridol. That was a whole plan thing. Who are you, anyway?
To Peridol, you said?
Yeah.
Me. I'm no one, really. Just trying to do a good deed.
You're Inquisition, aren't you? Fuck. Okay.
Ish.
You guys don't have the authority of the Imperial Inquisition on your side. That's about the only person who would be able to outrank a rogue trader would be an Inquisitor. But yeah, you're not Inquisitors, but they do seem to think maybe you are. They are suddenly very scared.
As they should be. Now, if you hand over those that you took, we may be able to take care of this without too much violence.
They kind of, I'll ask my captain.
You do that, and if your captain wishes to speak to me, I am here, but let your captain know that the God Emperor is watching over us, and...
I mean, duh. And kind of...
Some of us more than others.
You hear muttering and a rustling, and you watch as a bunch of soldiers who were kind of lying in the grass in wait start moving.
They do a head count as they're heading back to the ship.
Luna kind of comes
towards
forward
us or away from us.
with all of your people are there. Narlik James is kind of not so alive, but
not so dead.
well,
Well, he's only partially dead.
he's only mostly dead.
Cutter over here.
I mean, yeah,
There's
you
still
would
much
take
we can do
if
with
you
someone
were
who's only
if you were
mostly
in
dead.
your proper ship surgery with all of your tools, you could absolutely do something here.
True, out here my abilities are somewhat limited. by my
Roll
lack
an
of
intelligence
facilities.
check. I believe Medicaid is intelligence, and I'll allow a check.
Alright, let's see. Yes, Medicaid is intelligence.
Yes.
I got 28, which is under 40.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you managed to stabilize him.
Oh, nice.
Well done, Cutter. Well done.
Yeah, he does have some medical skills.
Adequately done.
Thank you. Fortunately, his internal systems were not too irreparably damaged.
Yeah. He's kind of breathing still erratic. But you give him a little adrenaline shot and he's kind of out of it. He's definitely not going to be able to say hold a gun and be useful, but he should he probably won't die unless he gets shot again in the next, he stays out of gunfight, he won't die.
Good news, soldier. You probably won't die.
Good news, everyone. Billy, I sent
He's
you a
gonna make
Discord
it?
message when you get a chance.
Discord? Sure.
Yeah, just letting you know.
Assuming you do not take any more trauma, you should make a recovery.
Yes. All right.
So, did they ever come back on the radio after?
Yeah,
speaking
your
with their-
captain does. Yeah, the captain does come back and agree to surrender.
Us or them?
They are surrendering, Johan. Come now.
Well, I mean, it did sound ridiculous, but I've seen strange things, and I've seen underdogs who have tried that toy before.
No, they're
All right.
yeah, they agree to surrender. They've done what they came to do.
Oh, have they now?
Well, I think so. We got a message. I got this. I shouldn't show you, but kind of holds out a little bit of she has a data slate and holds out a text message. Gold will be waiting. Thrones will be waiting. You've done well. Seems the task has been laid. Thrones being imperial currency of some sort, so is the general imperial currency. So thrones will be waiting is probably money.
You'll be paid, yeah.
Yeah, they set out what they did.
Disconcerting indeed.
Well, did they ever get the amulet?
Yeah, it was presumably sent off to
It was
Peridot.
sent out already?
Yeah, it was sent out, so it got there. Presumably, you didn't ask.
So they didn't return.
So they delivered the talisman as requested,
Yeah.
but the hostages were never returned.
No, the hostages have not been returned. However, they also have not been killed. They're sitting there.
That's only part of the deal.
Yeah, their deal was will be unharmed, and they are, as of, they didn't say it will be turned unharmed. They just said they will not be harmed. Remain unharmed.
So they're being kept to continue, presumably to
something.
ensure their survival.
Yeah, and they have. You look, and they are sitting there, safe and sound.
Good indeed. Well,
You can't have this go on forever, though. They need to be returned.
We were told to await further orders, and we got further orders. And given your own situation, I think prudence is the better part of valor.
I was talking to the captain because he's talking to them. But
Well, I suppose we should take them back.
Yeah.
Oh, now with these kidnappers,
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
well, it might start an incident with that family.
Maybe.
We've at least put that behind us for a little bit, haven't we?
I suppose we can for now.
And if we do that, then we're also revealing our true nature, which is not inquisitors. And if that got out somehow,
That you were impersonating
maybe
Inquisitors.
they
Well,
have
you never
surveillance cameras
never
on their ship
specified
as
that you were
opposed to-
Inquisitors. So you're
I
not
know.
you never really impersonated an Inquisitor so much as
No.
we're soon to be an
They think we
Inquisitor.
are, and if we actually interact with them, they may figure out that we're not.
You have a point. All right
And
then.
it may help your business ventures not to antagonize them.
If I may interject a suggestion, Captain, on the
Of
subject
course.
on the subject of ethics in this situation. I believe that the abduction of members of a noble family would constitute an act of chaos and therefore heresy, since it is against the established order. Perhaps heresy should not be allowed to go unpunished. Admittedly, I am partial in this case, considering it is my family that I'm speaking of, but I think you will also find that my devotion to the Omnissiah is complete, and thus to order.
Agreed. Punishment will serve the crime. What's the punishment for kidnapping? Death. Good, that's what I thought it was.
Now,
Otherwise, heresy spreads. It's just, common sense.
have they begun sending us the prisoners yet? Because we should probably
Yeah,
should
they're
not- we
the
should
two
probably
of them
get
are coming
first.
out. Yeah, the three of them come out. They bring out the three of them, bound at the hands and otherwise seemingly unharmed.
Hey, Captain, after having such a wonderful tea, perhaps you would like some entertainment with an orbital bombardment of this ship. Then we don't even have to. We're not involved because they do not know who, and yet they will have been punished because there will be nothing left of them.
There is that.
Are you saying to orbitally bombard the ship with them in it?
Not your. We have the prisoners. I mean, we have your. We have the hostages that are on the way to us.
Of course.
Yeah, they're right. They're
Yes.
standing right there. Their
So
captain brings them out. There's
so
the
their
ship in
captain
orbit.
will be
There's the
left
ship on the
without a
ground. It has presumably some soldiers in it.
all his soldiers are on the ship. So we'll just leave the captain.
Their captain, yes.
Their
We
captain.
can begin with that, indeed. I can't
No.
guarantee we'll end with that, but the beginnings would be nice.
Um,
So we just make sure that we have some of our own men facing this captain
sorry.
before, so he doesn't just decide to start willy nilly letting loose with his weapon.
Of course.
But I think it may impress him to see that he has made a grave error by seeing his own ship blown up with all his underlings.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're kind of speaking quietly because the captain is.
Yes.
Right
oh,
there.
yeah. This is.
Well,
all
I thought we were doing it before they got within. Cause they're
Yeah, you see them coming with the.
100
Yeah,
meters away.
you're having this conversation as the captain, other mercenary captain, is leading. The three
Correct.
Kurosawas tied at the wrist.
No, actually, our guys are so English arrogant that we'll probably talk to you further like that. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna end this at 6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I will say yes. You bombard the ship.
Omnissiah be praised.
You do as soon as you find this amulet and destroy it. It turns out that it was the one that was allowing the webway to open. So the Eldar.
Oh.
So as soon as you destroy it, the Eldar can't come back.
They can't come here.
Well, they could, but they'd have to go the long way around, and it's a pain in the ass.
Right.
This was an
Just like
easy
that's
way in. They had an easy in.
Johan, it's your birthday.
Yeah. And I will also say that you do receive a note, a message, saying this was just the beginning.
Was it written in Eldar?
No. Plain low Gothic.
Perhaps
This could have been written by any of those Ogrons that I abused.
Yeah.
perhaps a message from your old rival, Captain?
No.
Possibly.
Possibly. And
Anything is open here.
yes. And I think what we'll have to do is end on that note of someone's got... There's
Excellent.
definitely layers that you didn't quite get to yet, but you managed to stop the most immediate problems.
Because we blew them up. We just
Yeah, so you blew up the mercenaries that they hired. You didn't blow up anyone else. But I would suggest that everyone put if you have any links to your Twitch, your Alfheim forums, whatever cool stuff you want people to check you out at, put them in the chat.
Of course.
And I will do that for our Discord, the LHOG99 Discord forum, which is cool shenanigans, and we have way more lore on the. Now we have some official lore on, like, it's on the Kurosawa family, a little bit about Johan. Like, we now have, they have canonical vibes now. Roll for perception. That's
75 of the 500 Ogre words translated for us.
their words are low Gothic. They But yeah, we have. Thank you all for coming. For our special guests, I'd say round of applause, but okay, I'm putting that up and this and that as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
for a long time, so this is a lot of fun.
yeah, I would not. I would suggest that perhaps on another weekend, probably not for a while because peak is coming up. This is the last Saturday I have before I have to start working Saturdays. So,
Oof.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, holidays, fun time.
yes,
Yeah.
I work for delivery, so we But yeah,
That's crazy.
Oh, more
All
power to you.
yeah, and Lord Gazumba is on, so I suggest we go and we see. I believe it's the Slav Squad today, but it might be Gavin. Anyway, Lord Gazumba is a great friend of the community, a very good friend, and I think.
Looks like they got Ed Greenwood on today.
Ooh, Ed Greenwood is awesome. Created the
Yeah.
Forgotten Realms, if I remember correctly. So yeah, let's go right into that. I know it went long today. I appreciate you all sticking around. Thank you so much. You're very cool. Awesome sauce. Let's roll.
Let's do it.
Boom. Okay.
Go bram, ba, 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 bram.
Yes.
Thanks for the game, guys.
Oh,
too. Really-
yeah,
really had
awesome.
a good time
All of
playing
you
with
guys were. Thank you for
Yeah,
coming
that was
last
fun.
minute to come play. It was always appreciated.
Oh
All right.
yeah, anytime. This is great fun. I'd love to do it again.
All right. Here
Learning
we
the
go.
lore is a big.
Boom.
don't
Okay.
know
We
anything.
are.
There's a ton to learn too, so I don't envy. But you handled playing that Rogue Trader. You were great. I love that. Both of you were just so good.
All right.